I usually skip opening statements because I don't really care about opening statements.
Language stuff. Can we all agree that Trump never, in any part of that ellipse speech, he never called for peace or told people to be peaceful. He never said any of those words because he used explicitly at least.
Agreed to take on all comers on this and to talk about whether or not it was appropriate for the White House to make these updates, whether these updates were accurate or not. And we have a whole host of people to talk about it with us, including Enrique, Tarrio, Gibbs, we got Grid, we got Kung Fu Joe, all sorts of people. We're going to get into it. I guess, yeah, that's the first question for you guys, and we'll just kind of get into it. Was the White House's portrayal of January 6th on their website accurate? Why or why not? Anyone can start. Go ahead.
Oh, actually, let me look at the portrayal. Hold on. Thumbnail face. Little pouty thumbnail face. I'll be like, modeling career. Hold up. Hey yo. All right. I'm curious to see White House January 6th. Huh. Took decisive part in June. Unfairly targeted, overcharged, use a political example, not particular leadership failed them. Oh, okay, so they basically did everything possible to make these people seem like justified individuals. This government's so fucking corrupt. Oh my goodness. All right, whatever. Let's go back to the original thing.
I guess just on some basic language stuff. Can we all agree?
Go ahead.
I guess just on some basic language stuff.
Okay, I wanted to find out who's who. So obviously I know that's Gibbs, Dev. Which one's Enrique Tarrio? Is this him? Enrique Tarrio. Oh, so this is what this piece of shit looks like. So this is Enrique Tarrio. This piece of shit right here. Gotcha. Understood.
Can we all agree that Trump never, in any part of that ellipse speech, he never called for peace or told people to be peaceful? He never said any of those words because he used explicitly at least once, and he never explicitly said, "You guys need to be peaceful. You need to."
But like
go
Twitter
march
did stop him from saying "be peaceful." As soon as he said we need to be peaceful, then they deleted his tweet, canceled his account, whatever, and made it impossible for him to actually proclaim "please go be peaceful." So that's one thing that I think we can agree happened.
Well, that's cool. So I'm going to ask my question again. So on the speech on the ellipse, the hour speech or whatever, he never told people to be peaceful. That was never a command he gave. That was never a thing that he explicitly said ever. That was just never a thing that was said. But for some reason, people repeat this. I just want to make sure we all agree on that. That at the ellipse speech, he never told people you need to be peaceful. You guys should be peaceful. He never said that.
Yeah, you're being really narrow with that. Yep, that's true.
Well, I mean, like afterwards, people went to the Capitol and they, at the very least, rioted, so they weren't peaceful. So yeah, I would like to. I think if we're going to make a.
Well, you're talking about his rhetoric, though. You're changing the where we're looking. You're saying, well, this one part of the one speech that he gave, this one day.
Are you asking if he said specifically the word peaceful? Like, are you nitpicking one word?
So on the WhiteHouse.gov website, they claim, that, hold on, let me look for it explicitly. So it says,
just to the host, I'm sorry. To the host, I can.
All right, this is going to be long, so I will be playing the the revolutionary game that is Madden. I would want to play Arch Raiders, but I can't play Arch Raiders without having a mic in. So
I can cuss here, right? Is there certain words I can't say?
No, nothing that would get me demonetized. So no F words, no hard R's, nothing like that. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Other than that, he's all retard, fuck, all that shit. So yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So on the White House website, it's Save America rallies, their second timestamp. It says he stresses the need to fight for the country through strength and determination, explicitly calling for peaceful protest. I just want to be clear, that never happened. That part is a lie. On the side, at the very least, we can agree that that's a lie.
So he never said the words peacefully and patriotically during that speech?
No,
he never told people to go do that. He said that, I know you'll go marching peacefully and patriotic or whatever, but he never explicitly said, he never called for, that was never explicitly called for.
That's super nuanced, dude. If he says like peacefully and patriotically, I think that's the key. And I think there was a lot of people, including myself, pissed off that day. And to kind of hit what the question for the host, for 4 years, we've been fed nothing but like bullshit and slop from the Biden administration about what happened on January 6th. Now that January 6th are actually out, we get to say our piece, and I think people get to see both sides of the story, and they get to not make a binary choice.
So what Destiny's trying to do, which is like, I guess it's really how effective it is questionable, but I understand the tactic. There is a difference between saying do something and saying, oh, I know you're going to do something. Now, you can say that a claim that's alluding to a future behavior is an inclination to do that behavior. Like if I tell my little brother, who's about to go play in a basketball game and say, oh, I know you're going to play great. This is me telling him to play great. And now he has the foresight he has the outlook that he should play great. So you can look at it like that for sure, but there's difference when it's saying that. It's kind of a nicer way. It's more of a suggestion, right? When you allude to the fact that someone is going to do something, it's more of a suggestion versus a direct command. And when you are a cult leader like Donald Trump is, you would expect him to command his people to do something, command them to be peaceful. There would be a much more intention. There would be a much more let me reword that. There would be a more direct pattern of behavior that is demanded from a command versus a suggestion. So maybe after like talking through, I understand why Destiny's making this delineation between these two things.
Maybe they agree with me on some things. Maybe they agree with Destiny on other things, or other liberals. And I find it fascinating now that like we're nitpicking words when he's explicitly said that peacefully and patriotically make your way over to the Capitol. And then on top of that,
he didn't say that.
somebody else went ahead. Hold on one second. What he said.
One fact at a time. Just one fact at a time.
So he goes ahead and on top of that, his tweets got deleted, and you silence the president of the United States right after that. I don't think it was ever his intention to tell anybody. I sat through courts through 6 months. I don't think at any point did he think people were going to storm into the Capitol and storm the building or do anything. I think he wanted people to protest outside. And as somebody that, again, was planning on being there.
I'm going to read the sentence here, okay? I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. He didn't tell them, you need to be peaceful. You need to go and be peaceful. You need to go and not commit. He didn't explicitly say that ever. He just said, I know you'll be marching over soon.
Who cares? Like, what is he supposed to say? Hey, don't shoot it. Don't.
The language is distinctly different. Now, most people don't understand the nuances of how these languages can affect a cycle, a mindset and behavior. But in such a very tense environment, clear directives can make the difference. I do think that can be the case. So I'm not mad at this like logic chain. Now, these guys are too fucking stupid to understand what he's trying to do, but I'm not mad at the delineation. By
do this. Can I give the exact negative? Can I give the?
You can't prove a negative.
One at a time. Destiny, finish your question. Then Enrique can answer it, and I know Tim wants in too. Is that your name? I'm sorry, Tim.
Yeah, the full quote is, at the ellipse, President Trump speaks to hundreds of thousands of supporters, detailing evidence of election fraud and urging the crowd to march to the Capitol to, quote, peacefully and patriotically make their voices heard, end quote. There is no urging the crowd there. He just says he'll know they'll do it. There is no urging it's about an hour-long speech where he talks about voter fraud. He says we need to fight like hell or we're going to lose our country. He calls everybody in Congress weak. He's here to protest the results of the election. So I just think it's a little bit rich to pretend that there were explicit calls for peace in this. There wasn't. And this was like one thing he said almost at the beginning of the speech. Yeah.
Hey, every time you leave the house, like when you were a kid and you just got your driver's license, does your mom say, "Oh, don't crash"? Like it's retarded to even think that he has to.
That's a dumb comparison. That's a fucking idiotic comparison. That's not even the same thing. You're just saying words. At least give a similar analogy, right? When someone says "don't crash," they are telling someone not to crash, right? It's different from saying "don't crash," which is more of a direct statement, than saying "I know you will not crash." Now, it's still like you get the idea that they are trying to elude a specific action, but it's more suggestive. And also, crashing is a much more clear, negative for the individual, whereas being rowdy, being violent is not, especially when your intended result is to change the election. So the overall goal can lead into different behaviors. And if there's a suggestive behavior that doesn't lead to the overall goal, then of course that is going to take a backseat. Whereas, like, when I'm driving to somewhere, crashing eliminates any goal of getting to your location. So these are just not comparable analogies.
Say
at
that
all.
every time that he comes out. He said, "You guys are going to peacefully and patriotically march towards." So, like, if we're going to play on words, I mean,
DC to protest the results of the election, maybe that would be a good thing to say when he's kind of got everybody riled up, and he's also saying you need to fight like hell or you're going to lose your country. Maybe it would be a good idea to really stress the peaceful part, especially considering what happened afterwards, right?
Like he did. He said, "I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard." That's his speech.
Yeah, that is a line that he said, yes. But
you saying he just didn't say don't be peaceful?
I'm saying he didn't explicitly call it to do it. And I would argue there's stronger calls for explicitly for violence when he says, and
they don't understand language. They don't understand human psychology. They don't understand the difference between meaning of statements. I mean, am I surprised? They're MAGA. They're fucking idiots. How do you look like a nerd but you're stupid? That doesn't make sense to me.
We fight like hell, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. That seems a little bit more of a command, and it's at the end of the speech as opposed to the other thing that was towards the beginning of the speech. It's an hour-long speech. Just saying there weren't all these explicit calls for peace. He didn't say you guys need to remain peace.
I like what Destiny did there. He compared it to a much more declarative command statement, right? The "I know you will do something" is more of a suggestive statement of a behavior. Now, this is still alluding to a type of peaceful behavior, but it's more suggestive. The forefront statement that he's referring to is more of a command: fight like hell. So in terms of the pecking order of the intentionality of the statement and the behavior, a suggestive statement versus a command is always going to be below, right? So if I'm suggesting that you are going to do something versus I'm telling you you're going to do something, you can understand why which one would take precedent in a human mind. You can understand that, right? I'm telling you to do something versus, oh, I know you're going to do this, is completely different in terms of how people will perceive it.
Peaceful, nothing like that. He just said, "I know you'll be marching over there peacefully and patriotically, make your voice heard." That's it. It's not a huge point. You don't lose the whole argument by giving this. I want to make sure.
So do you think that he knew? Do you think that he knew that he was that the crowd was going to peacefully and patriotically march over there? Like, he didn't give a marching order, like, "Hey, go storm the Capitol. Hey, go stop the certification election." It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, is what he's saying. Like, you don't expect the crowd. I didn't expect the crowd to do that. I know a lot of people, a lot of liberals think that I went over there to go stop the certification election. I wasn't going to do that, and I didn't need the president to tell me to be peaceful and patriotically. I was already both of those things.
Well, so you did know that the Capitol was going to be broken into. It had already happened by the time that speech was over, right? The Proud Boys had literally organized to do this. You guys were involved in breaking through all three of the outer barriers, and then finally with Dominic to break into the actual Capitol with the riot shield. So you did know that was going to happen in advance, right? You were in the Capitol the night before and you left because
you have. So yeah. I'll ask you, like, I asked the prosecutors and defense team, what evidence do you have that I knew that was going to happen? Because you said it as an absolute.
What in the world? I feel like us girls were made to please men and serve them because we're nothing without them. We are less and we are men's bed pet. What guy is typing that? Does this guy want to be a trans woman or something? If you want to be if you just want to get, fucking railed, go do it on your own time, my boy. I'm not judging.
What evidence do you have that I thought that was going to happen? Because my messages in court, even given by the prosecution, doesn't show that. It shows that I'm like, holy shit, this is happening. I probably, actually, as a matter of fact, Destiny, you probably found out about the storming of the Capitol before I did.
I thought that you were convicted for this. Didn't you lose in front of a jury on this?
If you consider a jury that during their questioning, right, and said that.
I do. So I do consider that legitimate jury. Yes, and you did.
Okay, yeah, you did consider it.
So what's
I mean, I hope one day when you face any assault charges or anything, or sexual assault charges, that you're convicted.
A pivot to a different thing that is not related because you're a piece of shit and you got fucking owned. So nice try. Let's. Oh, hey, man, I said this in court and I was guilty, but these jury, they're corrupt, obviously. Of course, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Of a jury that hates your guts, then they put me in the jury because the first thing I'm going to do is find you guilty.
Okay, I want to hear from some other people here. I want to hear from Tim.
Just to be clear,
if they know you have a bias against the accused, then you won't be a part of the jury. That's how fucking juries work. You dipshit. Oh, I'm sorry, people. I'm gonna be very mean because I think Enrique Tarrio is a piece of shit. So I'm gonna be very mean to him in particular, and I will not apologize. I respect Wick for holding this panel. I just like, okay, no. So I'm kind of robotic. I could turn things off and on, of course, and like if I have to do a moderated thing, even though I hate this guy's guts, I can do it in a very professional manner. But I'm glad I don't have to right now.
Also, real quick. So everything in the indictment, all of your messages about your plans.
What messages? Can you point one message? Just show me one message, please.
Do you want me to read down the indictment to have you?
I mean, yes, please.
Is that what you want?
We got all night here.
While he's getting that up,
I don't got nothing to do here, bro.
while
so if you want to look at the
up,
indictment, go ahead.
Of course,
you're
you're a criminal.
I do want to hear
It's
from
a
other
trial,
people in the
right?
crowd. I want to hear Tim here.
Yeah, tell me about my 6-month trial.
Right,
I'd
and
love
we'll
for you
get
to be a
into it,
professional.
right? So go ahead,
Go ahead.
Tim, then Dev, and then we'll get you Kung Fu Joe and Gibbs and Grit. Go ahead.
Thank you. I just wanted clarification. The first thing I was going to do was with the speech, because that was the prelude to this. But Destiny, I think he wanted to limit it to specifically saying, for regarding, for after the fact. But I mean, are we ignoring the tweets that he gave at 2:38 and 3:13? He specifically does use the words peaceful. He says, "Stay peaceful" for the first one and remain peaceful, or peaceful for the second one. So what is the contention about the word peaceful and when it was used specifically?
Yeah, so he made those tweets when there was already violence breaking out. So when he says remain peaceful, that's nonsense. And people were begging him to call people to go home. So like people like Ashley Babbitt got killed because he refused to make that call for people to go home because he was hoping that Congress would break.
It's like it's so it doesn't make sense to me that these people don't know what time is. If I say don't do something after you already did something, knowing that this something is going on, then yeah, you're just covering your bases at that point because you already did the thing that you weren't supposed to do. Like, what the fuck?
Down and give in to the desire for him to have the vote switch.
Congress had already been removed at that point, so that's a stupid thing to say. You know better than that.
Yeah,
Did
Congress
they not
already
come
adjourned.
back that night?
Yeah, they came back later that night, but
Yeah, so I
after
think the point
all
was
of the
that-
rioters had been
yeah.
removed, sir. I mean, that's a dumb
Yes,
thing to
that's
say.
correct. Yes, after they
That's a
removed the
dumb thing for
rioters,
you to
which people
say.
wanted to happen, they came back and they re-adjourned in order to finish the count. Correct. Thank you for doing the logical order of events. So Tario, when you were
Not
saying
the-
things,
hold on, but
when
that
you were
doesn't
saying-
support what you
so sorry,
said,
I just
though.
want to see. I'm just trying to see if these messages are real. So when you posted a message that said "fuck unity, no quarter, raise the black flag," was that a message that you posted in a group chat?
I posted it on social media, yeah, and I'm 100%. I said that I celebrated it.
Okay.
If I'm guilty of celebrating it, then yes, and that was in social media.
Political prisoners, we won't go quietly. I promise. Is that a thing that you posted?
Yeah, that was in November. That was in November.
You need to
Yes.
remember, we're at war with a virus, not with each other. No,
Yeah.
you need to remember the American people are at war with you. No Trump, no peace, no quarter. Right? These are your messages.
When did those tweets happen? Remind me when those tweets happened.
In November of 2020.
Was in November of 2020. Was January 6th an event? Did it even get? Did it even? Did January 6th, the event at January 6th, did that ever get announced before November of 2020? Can you tell me the day that it got announced that was going to be a rally?
I'm just making sure that that so far in the indictment you agree to.
I'm
these,
just
you agree to
like,
these things, right?
unless I'm fucking Nostradamus and I know that some rally's going to happen in the future, do you expect me in November to be tweeting about some shit that I didn't even know was going to happen? An event that I didn't even know was going to happen.
We know that on January, I'm pretty sure the Electoral Count Act literally calls out the date of the certification of the election. So we all knew in advance.
That's December
when
12th.
the certification of
That's a month before I tweeted that. So yeah.
December
Wait, are
12th
we-
was the election certification.
Go
I
ahead.
thought that was January 6th.
automatically creating.
No, it's not January 6th. As a matter of fact, you got that wrong. The
Yeah,
certification of Congress,
Yeah,
the
just-
counting of it happens on December 12th.
Just real quick, I do want to make sure that Tim gets a chance to get in here. He's been trying.
Okay,
to.
sorry,
Go ahead.
Tim.
No, it's fine. Then Tim.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, Dev, go ahead.
We knew when the certification was going to be, but that doesn't necessarily mean people knew that the rally was going to happen, in which case you still have to create the nexus between the rally and his supposed urging people to riot, which didn't actually happen. But I'm just trying to understand, you're dismissing the tweets that happened in.
Just because you don't know the exact date, you know that this was going to be an event. We knew that the certification of the vote was always going to be a thing. So you can prepare without knowing the precise date. So that's just not an argument. Oh, this happened before then. I didn't know exactly the date that this event that we knew that was going to happen eventually happened. So that means that this statement's not correlated? Come on. That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous thing.
After 2 o'clock, after 3 o'clock, because they happened after the speech. But in the speech, he also says peaceful. But you're saying he didn't direct people to be peaceful. He just acknowledged it. Isn't that
He
inferred?
should have told people to go home because it had already gotten violent.
So you're unhappy that he didn't say specific words?
No, he should. Well, at that point,
No,
people should
that's
have gone
stupid.
home. He should have said, "You need to leave." It wasn't peaceful. It was a riot.
All words matter in terms of inciting how people are going to behave. I know that's hard to understand because you're a fucking idiot. So what you say really matters in terms of how they're going to behave, because they're a bunch of cultists who just listen blindly to what Donald Trump says. So in a situation, and when everybody's riled up, everybody's being emotional, certain things that are said can either diffuse or enhance a situation. Telling everybody to go home will immediately diffuse it for sure. 100%. Yes,
Right at
words
that point.
matter.
If he says
So
to
you wanted him
be peaceful,
the
that
initial contention, my understanding. I'm sorry, Rid, I thought
like
the initial
beyond splitting
contention,
hairs.
I thought the
We're
initial
not beyond
contention
splitting hairs. It's
was
very easy. So if there's a riot happening at the Capitol and you have the ability to tell your people to go home, you should probably tell your people to go home.
you wanted him to tell people to go home in the middle of the speech when he says to be peaceful.
You were just
Because I
talking about his
thought the
tweets that he made hours later at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Which one do you want to talk about?
Like
I thought you
they
were
can't
complaining
follow
about the fact that he didn't
conversation,
direct
can they?
people to be peaceful in the speech when he said, "I know you will be peaceful."
Well, yes,
I
but that's
just wanna
because
clarify.
Yes, those are two different things. Directing someone is different from saying that they were going to do something. It's not hard. It's really not hard. Now, you could say this means nothing. I would disagree, especially in the context of the situation. But these are two different things. Like,
So I'm just going through the whitehouse.gov J6 site,
such
and
a
I'm going
stupid
through
thing
the
to argue
timeline on the claim thing, right? And the second claim for the Save America rally is President Trump delivers powerful speech. That was the very first one I was looking at.
I don't even think it's.
I was talking about that one.
I don't even think it's worth getting in the weeds of what he
Okay,
said. He
that's
said
fine.
peacefully and patriotically. Like we don't need a 10-minute discussion on what those words mean and how he meant it.
Well, can I?
I mean,
He also
he's
did
not
say,
talking
just to be clear, he said we have to fight like hell or we're going to lose our country, right? How would you
yeah,
describe the
I think so. Yeah,
describe the
yeah.
events
I
that
agree.
unfolded over the next 4 hours? How would you describe the events that unfolded? What did it seem was more happening? That people were fighting like hell because they thought they were going to lose their country, or that they were marching peacefully and patriotically?
Mostly
I think
that.
95% of the people, I believe 95% of the people that were there on J6, all they did was walk in. They didn't touch a fucking cop. They didn't break a window. They didn't do any of that. If you want to talk about the 5%, look, I don't agree. I don't agree with the assaults. I've said this. I said this on January 6th in the evening after seeing it. I said it on national television. I said it on CNN and I said it on Univision. I can't vibe with people assaulting police officers. I think that they should have been arrested. I don't think that the problem was, I still think that they should be pardoned, not for their actions, but because of how
Why do
justice
we care about
was
any of this? I don't know
administered.
what we're talking about right now. There's no
Well, no, well,
yeah, they shouldn't beat up cops, but they should still be pardoned and not go to jail. Right, that makes total sense. Yeah, you can go fuck yourself. How about that?
I really don't care about you talking about
I heard that you
the
said
president's words.
95% were peaceful. So that
95% were peaceful.
Okay, so then 5,000, 10,000 people were rioting then, if the president's own words are to be believed.
Is that the number of people?
It was
Do you believe
about
5 or 10,000
100,000
people
there.
walked into the Capitol that day?
Yeah, there was
On
about
the-
100,000 people, I believe, is the number of protesters.
On the site, they say hundreds of thousands, so 5,000 to 10,000 violent rioters.
No. I'm asking you, is that the number? Are you citing the number of people that went inside the Capitol or the number of people that attended the rally?
I'm giving what they had as attended the rally on the White House.
I'm not asking what they give you. I'm asking what you know.
I know that around 1,600 people were charged. I don't know how many people went into the building altogether. I don't have the count on that, so I don't know.
So you don't know what the 5? We could just say 5%. We don't got to go with the number because it wasn't tens, thousands of.
So we could just go with 5%, even though they said the number. Oh, because it makes it look worse. Understood. Gotcha. Understood. It makes you look worse if you give a number like 5,000 versus 5%. 5% pacifies it because that's just an easy number to minimize. Gotcha. Understood.
People that went in.
Enrique, it's 1.5%, but it was a small number. I mean,
well, because only a small number of people even got to the building, right? That's how it works. Like in any riot, it's probably like 1 to 5% of people that are being violent, right?
There were probably thousands of people in the building. I was one of them. And Enrique, I think this is
All right, let me get my
like you said. Well, I would say it's beside the point because if you want to address the violence, it happened in very select areas, and there was a context behind it, such as the Lower West Terrace Tunnel. It actually, one of the biggest reasons it wasn't an insurrection is that it got less violent when people got inside the building. If they were going to, become violent and overthrow the government, we would have been more violent in the building than out. But what you see is that when you review the video, it actually was at very select locations because people were incited. There were provocateurs. I agree with Enrique. Not everybody who was there was a good person.
So to be clear, the incitement was you trying to break through where cops were. When people were inside the building, they weren't violent because they didn't even know what they were supposed to do.
What do you mean by you? What do you mean by you? Are you talking to me or are you talking to
the general you? Because he's talking about the protesters not being violent once they got inside the building because they didn't have much to be violent against because all the Congress.
So you're agreeing with me and Tim and saying that some protesters were violent. Yeah, I agree with you. Some protesters were violent. I believe that they should. I believe that they should be arrested, and I believe that they should have gotten some time in prison. Yes, I don't believe that they should have gotten 10, 20 years.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
I do want.
And I don't believe it's like you said,
Before anyone else
Destiny.
goes, hold on, just real quick. Before anyone else goes, I do want to make sure that Dev gets a chance to have his say and
Okay, go.
come in and give.
Oh, at least he said I agree that they should have some time in prison. Give a number. At least we can agree to that. He believes that some of these people who got let go should be in prison and have some time in prison. 10 to 20 years. I mean, you beat up a cop. I don't know, but at the very least, okay, At least we can get that.
Give us what he's gotten. I do see Gibbs, Kung Fu Joe over there, and we're gonna get you in here in a second. Dev, go ahead, give us what you think.
Yeah, I've
was
just
the
been listening.
January
This
6th
is
stuff?
kind of
Yeah, go ahead.
crazy. Just because I don't know who you are, the guy with the green background, but you were talking about Trump's tweets, and I mean, while the riot was happening, you expect a decent, competent, good leader to try to calm people down. That's what you expect them to say. But I mean, at 2:24 p.m., Donald Trump tweeted, "Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done to protect our country and our Constitution, giving states a chance to certify a corrected set of facts, not the fraudulent or inaccurate ones which you were asked to previously certify." Now, that statement, is that going to calm people down or rile people up, do you think?
Well, I can tell you from my own experience, it didn't rile me up. I actually, at that point, I actually wrongfully assumed when I read that tweet, I was already in the
Why is
crypt.
he answering from his own personal experience?
What's a fucking cowardly way to answer that question? From my own experience, I didn't. Of course, you're gonna say you didn't get riled up. No shit. Of course, you're gonna say that. Of course, you're gonna say that. Oh my goodness, these people are so. They're so disgusting. They're disgusting people.
What are we doing?
Because he was
I'm
there.
offering a perspective because I was asked, "Why do you think?"
Okay,
I'm telling
fair
you.
enough.
was
How
in-
about
he was in
everyone,
the
how about
council.
everyone else's perspective then?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, I think most.
You're asking to give other people's perspective that's not here.
He
Yeah,
can
I
give
mean,
his
That's
own
kind of how
perspective.
reality works. We kind of speak for how we think people are generally like motivated by things or what might cause people to do things. Are
Yeah,
we
so
incapable here?
He's a
of
people.
Here,
fattening
you know
up
what?
people's
I'm going to
state
tell you
of mind?
exactly what people thought. I'm going to tell you
How
exactly what
let's
people
not
thought.
generalize to simple shit. Just stay on the specific things.
No,
Dev
I'm
asked
going
a
to give you
specific
exactly
question.
what people
Dev
thought,
gave
and
you
I'm
a
going
specific
to
tweet
give you my
what people
specific
saw that Pence
thing.
had failed. What did Pence fail?
So-
What were the what?
These people were such cowards. Of course. Oh, I'm not going to allow him to answer this very obvious question because it'll make us look bad. Oh, these people, they're such cowards. I hate them so much. All right, I'm gonna stop playing Madden because I gotta eat. So
What did that do?
So anybody who thinks that the only reason, excuse me, I think anybody who thinks that the only reason that people went into the Capitol is because Trump told them that the election was stolen is a retard. I think they weren't looking backwards, and it started with Hillary Clinton in September of 2016,
What were people
calling
at the
Trump
Capitol for?
supporters
What were
as
people at the Capitol for?
a basket of deplorables. Then
Oh,
you
in
take us off
2016,
social
how
media.
many people
Then
invaded
you
the
go ahead
Capitol?
and you
The answer is zero.
definance
The
us.
answer is zero.
You
Yeah,
deplatform
that's
us. You shut down our businesses during
Zero.
COVID.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You allow
Zero.
the summer of
Who
love
shut
to
down
happen
businesses during
unchecked.
COVID? Wasn't Trump the
And
president for that?
the
Who was the
straw that
president for
broke the
Wasn't
camel's
Trump the
back.
president for that?
One at a
The
time. One at a
straw
time.
that broke the
One at a
camel's
time.
back
Both of you. Both of you.
is
Let
somebody
Enrique
stole the
finish.
fucking election.
Yeah, let
So yeah,
Enrique
we were
finish.
pissed off about a
Tried
million
to, but he
fucking
failed.
things. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
there's a million things that we were pissed off about. It wasn't
So,
just a
for
fucking
January
stolen
6th, why were people at the Capitol? What were they there for?
we were there to fucking peacefully protest
Who
the
called
stolen
them there?
election.
Who called them
Yeah.
there?
Hold on,
President
Destiny,
Trump called us
I need to
there.
ask you a
Yes,
question.
at the
I
ellipse.
need,
Okay.
I gotta
Thank
ask
you.
this. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Because do you truly believe that people, absent Trump, absent his speech, that
oh,
there
was
wouldn't have
that?
been
Oh,
people like
I thought
showing
I
up
muted my
angry at
mic.
the
I'm
Capitol
sorry
that
about
day?
that.
Is that your claim?
After him inviting them there? Nah, maybe 1,000, maybe. I don't know. If
Well,
that.
hold on. So you don't believe that there are other factors leading up to that day from the time of the election, not including Trump, that would have motivated enough angry people to show up that day?
Well, I can tell you what the other factors are. It's actually really easy. There was a whole bunch of people
there's a lot.
online who were posting. No, there's a whole bunch of people
No,
online.
hold on.
No,
Let
I'm
Dev
going to
answer your question.
I'm going to
Please,
answer
go
you. There's a whole.
this guy's such an idiot. Yes, when when the guy, your cult leader, tells you to go to a place, all the other external factors could play into why you decided to listen to him and follow his command. But ultimately, what brought you there was the command.
Whole bunch of people online who are posting about how Mike Pence has the power to send back the electors so that Trump can steal the election, and everyone was hyping themselves up for this bullshit. That's why you guys went there. It was retarded.
No. That's not the only thing I'm talking about. Like, I have a list of things that factually happened, and whether or not you can observe them through 2020, vision, like from now, doesn't matter because we had so little time to analyze these things. So expanded mail-in voting due to COVID-19, late night vote count pauses and updates in key states, changes to the election
Yeah, so
procedures.
every single one of these things failed in court. They had their day in court. You lost on every single one of these.
Buddy,
All of them.
did you not just
Every
hear
single
what
one.
I just said?
It's cute. He believes in the
Not hear what I
justice
just
system.
Courts have litigated all of
Hold
these.
on.
You lost.
Hold on. No.
Space, the
You
justice
obviously
system.
weren't listening. If you
They-
listen, you can hear me
they're
better.
fraudulent.
What I
They-
said
they-
was, what happened by the time January 6th rolled around, we didn't have the time and like 8 hours a day for years on end. No, we didn't have years
Yeah,
like
did.
you did.
Yep.
No, we didn't.
You did.
Okay, between January 6th and the election, the determination of the election, how much time was there?
A few months, but there was enough time that almost every single claim that Donald Trump brought up in his speech had already been debunked thoroughly, and none of them, absolutely zero of them, have held up today. So apparently there was enough time.
Hold on.
So
Democrats were saying that mail-in voting is the most unreliable form of voting. Democrats said that. That's something that's not going to change.
Who asked?
Well, you know,
we sit here, anything. It's not relevant. No.
So the White House
How is
posted
it not
this
relevant?
thing.
I want to hear from Gibbs. Gibbs, go ahead.
Yeah. So the White House posted this thing, and I really feel it's important that we kind of like analyze it in the 2026 light. Actually, what did they say? It says, in truth, it was the Democrats who staged the real insurrection by certifying a fraud-ridden election, including widespread irregularities and weaponizing federal agencies. All right. So we're sitting. Look at this. Now we're looking at right now.
Who are you even quoting? Wait, who was that even a quote from?
That's on
that is the White House
website.
page. White House. The whole thing that we're here. Y'all literally posted and said this is what we're debating today.
Okay,
anyway. Well, I would like to get to it. Thank you. 1 second, please. Anyway, and so when we look at it in 2026 and we see all the fraud and we see places like Minnesota where we now have evidence that 197 duplicate ballots were posted. Yes, we do. We do have that. It was just by the Congress just a couple days ago. Maybe keep up to date.
We knew about that fraud because of the Joe Biden administration. But good bullshit point. Continue.
We have that. We see evidence of the fraud. We see evidence of this NGOs paying for it. The Trump administration has been saying from day one when
just through NGOs. Just randomly out there, you have no proof of fraud with NGOs, and anytime there was fraud, Dems would always call it out. Prior administrations would always investigate fraud anytime it happens. But hey, man, Donald Trump could do a meme coin, a fraudulent meme coin, right in your face, and you say nothing. Based.
this went down, that they're basically having some sort of system in place to rig the election. So they're the real insurrectionists by subverting the will of the voters, and that's what we're seeing has happened. They use the fraud system.
Why didn't Trump said this coming in 2016? They had 4 years to find it. Why did Trump not find anything?
Oh yeah, because Biden's going to be investigating himself whenever he gets put in power, huh? Does that make sense? Give me a break. Come on, man.
No, Trump said there was rampant voter fraud for the 2016 election. He was in office for 4 years.
Yo, I hate these people so much. He said Trump is currently president. Why hasn't he found anything? Why'd you bring up Biden, you dumbass? Oh my God. These people are so stupid.
After they found nothing. He put together a commission to find it. They found nothing.
And yet now we're finding all sorts of stuff, though. So
no, we're not.
Crazy
but I didn't ask
now I said he had 4 years. I'm talking about now, though. You know, we talked about 4 years ago.
Well, no, you weren't talking about now. You brought up a quote from 2016. So you want to talk about now? You want to talk about now? Why don't we have any fraud from this election? He said there was billions of illegal voting. We don't have any fraud.
The quote I just read for 3 days.
He said they found a bunch. You didn't find shit. The Trump administration hasn't found jack shit. What is he talking about?
You realize that, right?
I'm asking you, where is the evidence of the voter fraud? The rampant voter fraud in 2016, in 2020.
We literally have evidence right now that 197 duplicate votes were cast in Minnesota's election, and 137,000 is what it cost to beat him, right? And so, yeah, clearly something was going on when we have billions in fraud and 197,000 duplicate votes in a state where they won, and it's a state where, guess what? Timmy Walls is the VP candidate. Come on, bro. There's some kind of collusion here. That's the real insurrection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I am curious. Something Enrique said at the beginning of the show, that people have been fed a lie about January 6th. If you could have, if there is one lie you could point to that the Biden administration or the Democrats or whoever has been saying about January 6th, what would you say that lie is? And then we can.
Okay, let me look up that Minnesota thing.
See if Dev and Destiny, what they think about that. What do you think, Enrique?
So to say something that I don't want to argue about, but just saying it's an insurrection was all bullshit. But to be more specific, and specific to my case, that we decided to plan to commit an act of sedition, which is one step on the treason for people that don't know that, to overthrow by force the United States government is bullshit. And they ran with this narrative, and they ran with this Tom Clancy novel. Because if you read not only my indictment, if you sat through the 6 months of my trial, and you read all the bullshit that went on in the trial and how they wanted to paint it, I think that's one of the biggest miscarriages of justice and the biggest miscarriage of a PR campaign by the DOJ. So much so that I think I'm happy that I got 22 years because it opened people's eyes and it's like, well, you know what? I don't like this guy, but he doesn't deserve 22 years because, you know, these facts are the case. And in my case, you know, we had FBI agents embedded.
Yeah, you don't deserve that when you try to overthrow the election. I'm trying to find a good source. All right, I'll let it continue.
Within the group, we had CIs that were informing about the Proud Boys before January 6th and at January 6th, and not a single one of them did the prosecution put on the stand. So just to close up here, I think them blaming. Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm just closing up. But for the most part, I think hold on a sec. Hey, dude. Hey, let me finish. Let me finish, and then you can go ahead and do your own shit. Yeah, just mute yourself for a second. So check this out. So I think in closing, I think just the narrative that went behind this seditious conspiracy with the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers, it's bullshit. You want to get some of them. You want to get Dominic. Look, you want to get Dominic Pizzola for breaking a window. You could go ahead and break a window, and he'd be charged for it. You know what? I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to keep talking for a second. If you want to get Dominic Pizzola for breaking a window, then absolutely go ahead. He'll tell you himself that he shouldn't have broken a window. And I'm unmuting. Go ahead.
The Proud Boys were the ones that broke through initially, right? They were the first ones in, right?
No, they weren't the first ones to break in.
They weren't the first one. So there wasn't, let me just be clear. So there wasn't a group of about 100 Proud Boys while Trump was still speaking that made
there wasn't even 100 Proud Boys in the ground on January 6th. So let's start with correction.
Okay. How many
52.
would you say there were? 52.
52.
Okay.
Yes.
Was there a group of about 50 Proud Boys during Trump's speech that were already making their way to the Capitol that broke through the outer perimeter, then the second one, and then eventually broke through the window with the riot shield via Dominic? Was that all the Proud Boys?
No, apparently you don't know about the Dominic Pizzola. So we'll start with the Dominic Pizzola and work our way down. So with Dominic Pizzola, Dominic wasn't the one that initially broke the window, and he wasn't the last one to pull the window. He wasn't even the one that went in. He's just the one that conveniently he was not. That window was already broken. You want to pull up the video and take a look at the cracked window?
So I
welcome you to do so.
You said cracked window, so he's the one who broke through the window with the right shield. Proud Boy.
Yeah. He finished breaking. He didn't even finish breaking the window because the window was still not accessible and somebody else pulled down the window. I go ahead and
all right, I'm trying to look up information. It's hard because I'm trying to eat and research. So I'm trying to look up information about the fraudulent ballots. There's no information about this. I feel like this guy just made stuff up. I think what happened is someone posted this on social media, and anytime you post things on social media, it's automatically true because most of these people don't have enough intelligence to actually research claims, so they just believe anything they see on social media. So the whole thing about we found fraudulent ballots, I'm not seeing that anywhere.
I challenge you and I say pull up the video and we can discuss Dominic Pizzola.
And if he wants to, we can. So my question is when you tweeted out that you were proud of my boys in my country, okay?
Yes. What time was that?
What were you referring to? You tell me. When you said you,
I was talking to the crowd. So let me listen. You could hit me for a lot of things, but the things that you're talking about, you can't. Right? I had direct communications with my guys via Telegram at the time. Right? So if I didn't want them to leave, why isn't there a message from me directly to them saying, "Don't fucking leave, just keep going"? I put that message out on Parler, which is similar to Twitter, right? To the public. I was celebrating it. If that's what I'm guilty of, then fucking lock me away for 22 years. But how the fuck are you going to tell me for tweeting when you've tweeted so much fucking worse shit that you should probably be in prison for? Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then don't fucking leave.
The Proud Boys who were in first, right? You were tweeting out, "I'm proud of my boys."
The Proud Boys, we've established that the Proud Boys weren't the first ones in, so we can clear that out of the thing.
Let Destiny finish.
So you knew that they were breaking in. You were proud of them for doing.
I did not know they were breaking in. I did not.
This guy has been looking into Destiny's Twitter timeline. So Destiny says terrible, and I mean terrible jokes that I think are not funny. You are at the Capitol trying to overturn an election and riling people up. I think the situation, the context is very different. You trying to play morally high ground when you try to do that is crazy. This motherfucker, this piece of shit trying to play moral high ground on Destiny as he tried to overthrow the election is crazy.
No, that we're breaking in. Okay, no, I didn't turn on the TV. I didn't turn on the TV.
I got the video.
Go ahead.
I got the video.
Can you send it to me and I can play it?
I've DM'd it to you.
Yeah,
you can watch it.
Give me a second.
First guy goes by Red on Red Glasses. If you want to search the Sedition Hunter hashtag, it's an Indian-looking fellow.
Okay,
Red on Red Glasses.
Second.
They throw a 2x4 through the window first.
We'll see it in a moment. I'm juggling all my backing.
I can also throw this out there. There have been many attempts to get information from the government about who these individuals are, and little effort by the prosecution to identify these people. So I know Dominic as well. I did time with him. So I know for a fact he wouldn't be capable of planning an insurrection.
Okay, it's about a minute-long video that we're going to watch. If you click on the watch stream, we can all watch together.
Can we start with the windows broken?
Okay.
Can everybody see that? It's cracked?
Right there? Okay.
Yes.
Keep watching.
Okay.
There's 2x4.
This one. I don't know if I could use this.
And I think that's Dominic. They're going in fourth, right? But he's the guy holding the shield.
So this
Yes,
guy right
indeed.
here, he's Dominic.
Yep. and
That
it's
is
Proud Boy.
Dominic Pizzola. Yes, that's correct.
Yep.
Yep.
So what's the
One.
argument here?
Well, 1, 2.
Well, if that guy could get over the fucking window.
2,
3,
3. He's
Little
a
box.
Technically
four.
fourth.
One of the two.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
4 or 5.
But
And
he's
I want to
absolutely
hear
breaking-
Destiny. I want to hear Destiny what
Just to be
Destiny has to say about this.
Just to be clear, he's absolutely breaking that window, right?
Yes.
He's absolutely no. Listen, Dominic will tell you himself he's breaking that window. But I'd love to hear Destiny's take on this. I don't know. Now, do you
Hey,
feel
what's
like
your- what's
do you
your
feel
point?
like you're wrong about being the first?
I never said he was the first
I was-
one in. I said that the Proud Boys were
You-
involved
no,
in
no, you
breaking
did.
into the
You did
Capitol
say
building.
that we were
No,
the
I
first
didn't.
ones in.
I
Yes.
knew you guys were the first ones that broke through all the barriers, which is
Mhm.
true. The outer
That is
perimeter,
not
the
true.
second outer
You
gate,
want to
and
go
then
through the first
window
one?
there.
We could do this again because
Sure, you
you,
can find
when we're
first
talking
one.
about semantics, you want to talk about the president not saying a single word patriotically and peacefully and not directing people to be. But now here you're not using semantics, right? So
I'm
now
not using semantics. But was he a Proud Boy involved in breaking through the window for the
yes,
first
he
people
was.
to enter the
Yes,
building?
and I've never
That's my
denied
claim,
that.
Correct.
Dominic
That's
doesn't
good.
even
All right.
deny that.
And this
So
happened,
now let's go to
this
the
happened
first
right
breach.
after 2 o'clock. This happened
But wait,
before
wait,
Trump
wait.
was
You had
tweeted guys
so
to
much
remain
to
peacefully,
say
right?
about the first, second, and third breach. Go to the first breach. Was the Proud Boys the first ones to go through the first
If you
breach?
have video you want to send me to it. We'll just watch it just like
No, he's the one. He's the one that has the burden of proof right now because he's making the claim. So I'd like him to pull up the window.
That found you guilty
Go
to
ahead.
execute seditious conspiracy, but yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of fucking liberal DC liberal DC jury, of course. Again, I hope one day, whenever you face your charges for your sexual assault and all the weird fucking kinky shit that you do, I hope that the people on that jury hate your fucking guts and put you in prison. And I hope you rot there for 22 years. And I hope that you change your mind about everything, but I doubt it. And I hope you change your mind about the justice.
Yes. Play the moral high ground as you try to overthrow the country. Yeah, you can go fuck yourself. It's crazy. It's crazy how these people are trying to do this. It's insane. These people have no accountability for what they did, huh? They have no accountability for it. They're just trying to play victim. What was the point? So Destiny said that they were the first ones there. And then we see a video of some guys break in. And that guy that broke in was a Proud Boy. So I'm so confused. Like, what are we talking about?
Justice system, because you're out here simping for the fucking justice system.
I'm not simping
And
for
then
the justice
now
system. I think it's a
you
crime
have
that,
been
like,
simping for the
actual
justice
stuff,
system.
human filth like you
Simping
guys
for the
are
justice
reporting.
system
You
is
should
saying,
be
oh, well,
rotting
you
in
got,
jail.
Let Destiny-
Fucking
hold on,
jury.
Destiny,
You should
let
be
Destiny
rotting
Dev
under the
go. Destiny
jail.
Dev, please. Destiny Dev, go ahead.
Good.
Well, I mean, we all know that Newsom's going to pardon you anyway, Destiny, so it's fine.
True base, my thing.
Okay, so
That'll be
Dev,
great.
you showed us that video. What else are your thoughts here? And then I want to get.
Well, here I think Dev can take this response. But one guy was asking why were people at the White House or why were people at the Capitol, and he said there were multi factors. They were there because Trump called them there.
Not,
They were there
not for
because they
everything, no.
believe that 2020 was stolen from them, even though it wasn't. Even though
Yep.
Biden actually did win 2020.
Because
Quite a
Trump said
few.
lie. Yeah.
No, quite a few people. I can name a myriad of them. Christina Kelso, Scott Fairland. Many of them were there because they were angry about losing their businesses. And yeah, I mean, the election plays into that because they thought the lockdowns would continue more. But these are people.
They were there because Donald Trump told them to come here. This whole idea that you're trying to say, oh, they were there for other. No, they were there because Donald Trump told them to come here.
Who lived under blue states, and they were just there to have
Other
their voice heard. They
reasons
went
is
there with signs
irrelevant. The
about
only
COVID,
reason why
mask
they
mandates,
decided to call
vaccines. Not everybody there was a Trump supporter
coagulate
either,
it because
by
Donald
the way.
Trump said so.
You know,
I don't get it. Why did Destiny didn't really respond to this? I don't get the point of this video thing. I'm so confused. Like, what was the point of this?
I didn't want them to leave. Why isn't there a message from me directly to them saying, don't fucking leave, just keep going? I put that, then fucking, you should probably be in prison for, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then
So
don't
so
fucking
it was
leave.
the Proud Boys who were in first, right? You were tweeting out, "I'm proud of my boys."
The
and
Proud
my
Boys,
country.
we
Don't
established
fucking
that the Proud
leave,"
Boys weren't
They
the
already
first ones
broke
in,
in,
so
and
we
you
can
said
clear that
they
out of
were
the
the
thing.
first
Let Destiny
to
finish
enter
now.
the
Let Destiny finish
So
his thought.
you knew that they were breaking in. You were proud of them for doing
I did not
so.
know they
You
were
the first
breaking
one to
in.
say.
I
Really,
did
you
not
had
know they
no
were breaking
idea.
in. No, I didn't turn on the TV. I didn't turn on the
because
TV.
I got the video.
Go ahead,
I got
Dev.
the video. You
Can you
look at
send
it
it
if
to
you
me and
want.
I can play it? For you?
I've DM'd it to you.
Yeah,
You can
please.
watch it.
Give me a second.
first guy goes.
So I'm
So you were
confused.
Proud Boys weren't
They
the
already
first ones
broke
in,
in.
so
and
we
you
can
said
clear that
you
out of
were
the
first
thing.
one.
Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then
So
don't
so
fucking
was the
leave.
Proud Boys who were in first, right? You were tweeting out, I'm proud of my
right to the public. I was celebrating it. If that's what I'm guilty of, then fucking lock me away for 22 years. But how the fuck are you going to tell me for tweeting when you've tweeted so much fucking worse shit that you should?
You were tweeting out, I'm proud of my boys.
The Proud Boys, we've established that the Proud Boys weren't the first ones in, so we can clear that out of the thing.
Let Destiny finish now. Let Destiny finish.
So you knew that they were breaking in. You were proud of them for doing.
I did not know they were
breaking
breaking in. I did not know they were breaking in. No, I didn't turn on the TV. I didn't turn on the TV.
I got the video.
Go ahead.
I got the video.
Can you?
No, and he'd be charged for it. You know what? I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to keep talking for a second in a window. And I'm unmuting. Go ahead. Absolutely. Go ahead. He'll tell you himself that he shouldn't have broken a window. And I'm unmuting. Go ahead.
The Proud Boys were the ones that broke through initially, right? They were the first ones in, right?
No, they weren't the first ones to break in.
They weren't the first one. So there wasn't, let me just be clear. So there wasn't a group of about 100 Proud Boys while Trump was still speaking that made
there wasn't even 100 Proud Boys in the ground on January 6th. So let's start with correction.
Okay. How many
52.
would you say there were? 52.
52.
Okay.
Yes.
Was there a group of about 50 Proud Boys during Trump's speech that were already making their way to the Capitol that broke through the outer perimeter, then the second one, and then eventually broke through the window with the riot shield via Dominic? Was that all the Proud Boys?
No, apparently you don't know about the Dominic Pizzola. So we'll start with the Dominic Pizzola and work our way down. So with Dominic Pizzola, Dominic wasn't the one that initially broke the window, and he wasn't the last one to pull the window. He wasn't even the one that went in. He's just the one that conveniently he was not. That window was already broken. You want to pull up the video and take a look at the cracked window?
So
I welcome you to do so.
You said cracked window, so he's the one who broke through the window with the riot shield. Proud Boy.
He broke. He finished breaking. He didn't even finish breaking the window because the window was still not accessible, and somebody else pulled down the window. I go ahead and I challenge you and I say pull up the video and we could discuss Dominic Pizzola.
And if he wants to, we can. So my question is when you tweeted out that you were proud of my boys in my country, okay?
Yes. At what time was it?
Okay.
Can everybody see that?
Click on.
I know for a fact he wouldn't be capable of planning an insurrection.
Okay, it's about a minute long video.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck what your
click on
opinion
the
is.
watch stream. We can all watch.
Of course, you're gonna cape for your criminal friend, of course. Like a rapist will cape for another rapist. That's just how it works.
Start with the windows broken.
Okay.
Can everybody see that? It's cracked.
Yes, it's like someone was trying to crack it, trying to break through. That's not a good defense.
Right there. Okay.
Yes.
Keep watching.
Okay.
And they broke the window.
There's 2x4.
This one. I don't know if I could use this.
And I think that's Dominic that are going in fourth, right? But he's the guy holding the shield.
So you lied about him not breaking the window, and you lied about him not going in. I'm confused of like what win you're trying to get here. These are direct.
So this guy right here, he's Dominic.
Yep.
That is Dominic Pizzola. Yes, that's correct.
Yep.
Yep.
So what win are they trying to get from this? I'm so confused on the point being made here.
One, two.
Well, if that guy could get over the fucking window.
2,
3.
He's a
technically 4. 4 or 5.
Yeah.
4 or 5.
But
I want to hear Destiny. I want to hear Destiny. What Destiny has to say about this.
Just to be clear, he's absolutely breaking that window, right?
Yes.
He's absolutely no. Listen, Dominic will tell you himself he's breaking that window.
Your bitch ass said he didn't break the window, so you can go. And then you said he didn't go inside. So this guy's just a pathological liar. He thought the video proof was going to help him.
But I'd love to hear Destiny's take on this. I don't know. Now, do you feel like you're wrong about being the first?
I never said he was the first one in. I said that the Proud Boys were involved.
Oh, you're trying to catch him on being the first one in? Are you serious? Are you trying to get a W? Okay, no. There's no way he's trying to play that game. Nah, let me hear this again. Hold on.
Through the outer perimeter, then the second one, and then eventually broke through the window with the riot shield via Dominic. Was that all the Proud Boys?
No, apparently you don't know about the Dominic Pizzola. So we'll start with the Dominic Pizzola and work our way down. So with Dominic Pizzola, Dominic wasn't the one that initially broke the window, and he wasn't the last one to pull the window. He wasn't even the one that went in. He's just the one that conveniently he was not. That window was already broken. You want to pull up the video and take a look at the cracked window?
So
I welcome you to do so.
You said cracked window, so he's the one who broke through the window with the riot shield. Proud Boy.
He broke. He finished breaking. He didn't even finish breaking breaking the window because the window was still not accessible and somebody else pulled down the window. I go ahead and I challenge you and I say, pull up the video and we can discuss Dominic.
What points are these? So he's fighting over him being the first person in. Are we dead ass? Are we dead ass? Nah. And then we look at it. There's a crack. We don't know what caused the crack. And he's trying to use that as justification. Like, oh yeah, he didn't really. Who caused the crack? Maybe it's the guy right next to the window with the fucking riot shield, or someone threw something at the fucking window. So it's like, well, he didn't try to break it first. That's a fucking stupid point. And this is the guy we're talking about.
Wouldn't be capable of planning an insurrection.
Okay,
Shut the fuck up, you bitch.
Can everybody see that? It's cracked.
Right there.
Yeah, someone caused the crack. Who did it? We don't know. And maybe it's the guy who's like aiming at the fucking crack. Or maybe someone threw it to cause the crack. Like, that's a stupid fucking point. And then he literally broke down the window. So the window's open. So you lied about him breaking down the window. And then you lied about him not going in. Because he literally goes in.
There's 2x4.
This one?
So this window was open because of him. He was about to go in. He let some other people go in first. And then he eventually starts going in. So you lied about him with the breaking. You lied about him going in. And you're trying to get a W. It's like, well, he wasn't the first one to go in, right? Nah, we're dead ass. This is when you know you're cooked. That's when you know you're cooked. That is crazy. Oh, man, this Enrique Tarrio is trying to say, well, he wasn't the first one in. He could have told them to go in first. It's obviously he wanted to go in. He's the one who initiated the breaking of the window. So you guys trying to get a W from this is crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Oh, my goodness.
I think that's Dominic going in fourth, right? He's the guy holding the shield.
He's the one who fucking started breaking it down. Just because he went out. Are we serious? Nah. These people are evil. They're evil people. They're evil people. Trying to get social media W's. See, technically, he wasn't first to go in. And technically, we don't see it on the video of him causing the crack. But he did like tear down the window, and he was the first one to start beating on it. And he was like pushing people in, and he was covering people with the shield. And then he eventually goes in. But technically, he wasn't the first person that went inside. Like, go fuck yourself.
So this guy right here, he's Dominic. But
I want to hear. Yes, he's absolutely no. Listen, Dominic will tell you himself he's breaking that window. But I'd love to hear Destiny's.
Your bitch ass said he didn't. So
take on this. Now, do you feel like you're wrong about being the first?
You guys were the first ones that broke through all the barriers, which is true. The outer perimeter, the second outer gate.
You want to go through the first one? We could do this again because when we're talking about.
Destiny did say you guys were the first ones to break through the barrier. He literally said that. He brought up the barrier, and now this guy's a lying piece of shit. He's good at lying. He's good at lying and
semantic would be, but now here you're not using
through the
first
right
grade.
After 2 o'clock. This happened.
But wait. You had so much to say.
Right?
Deny that.
Involved in breaking through the window for the first.
He was. So now
was he a Proud Boy involved in breaking through the window for the first people to enter the building?
Yes, and I've never denied that.
Correct.
Dominic doesn't even deny that.
And this
so
happened,
now let's go to the first
right
breach.
After 2 o'clock. This happened.
But wait. You had so much to say
right?
about the first, second, and third breach. Go to the first breach. Was the Proud Boys the first ones to go through the first breach?
If you have video you want to send me, send it.
He literally broke the window down. He was the one who broke it down. What are you trying to get PR wins? How is that possible?
Me too, and we'll just watch it just like.
No, he's the one that has the burden of proof right now because he's making the claim. So I'd like him to pull up the window.
That found you guilty of seditious conspiracy, but
yeah, a bunch of fucking liberal DC liberal DC jury, of course. Again, I hope one day, whenever you face 2 years justice system, because you're out here simping for the fucking justice.
You should
saying, oh well, you got.
You should be rotting under the jail.
Destiny Death, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, we all know that Newsom's going to pardon you anyway, Destiny, so it's fine.
True base, my opinion.
Okay, so Dev, you showed us that video.
It's funny how you pieces of shit got pardoned. It's funny that there's a number of people who got pardoned from Jan 6 who started committing crimes after. That's funny. It's funny that little boy got molested by one of you Jan 6 pieces of shit. That's funny. Okay. All right.
What else are your thoughts here? And then I want to get.
Well, here I think Dev can take this response. But one guy was asking why were people at the White House or why were people at the Capitol? And he said there were multi factors. They were there because Trump called them there.
They were there because they believe that 2020 was stolen from them, even though it wasn't. Even though Biden actually did win 2020.
Because
Quite
Trump
a few,
lied. Yeah.
No, quite a few people, and I can name a myriad of them. Christina Kelso, Scott Fairland, many of them were there because they were angry about losing.
Hey, dipshit. The other reasons why they were inspired by Trump's call is fucking irrelevant. The point is, they're only there because Trump called. You dumb. Yo, I'm gonna be cursing a lot. I hate these people. I hate these people with a passion. They hate the country. I want them out of my country.
Their businesses, and yeah, I mean the election plays into that because they thought the lockdowns would continue more, but these are people who lived under blue states and they were just there to have their voices heard. They went there with signs about COVID, mask mandates, vaccines. Not everybody there was a Trump supporter either.
Playing with his background.
You know, you got to remember when you have a large amount of people like that, you're going to get a cross section of American society. So it's not
sure, but I mean, nobody really cares about the guy who went there to protest and just kind of stayed outside, didn't get any trouble, went home. No one cares about them. People care about the ones who are riding.
I mean, you should when they get prosecuted too.
They did.
Yeah, they did though. That's
no,
the
they
problem.
didn't. They didn't. There's 100,000 people there.
Hold on, wait, back up before we get into this naming off every individual, because every single time these guys get looked up, all of them were doing some fuck shit. But I understand the DC jury, it's all, you know, horrible, politically partisan prosecutions. Why do you really think that if Trump, I don't know, I'm asking this because there's no good faith engagement here. If Trump hadn't called people there on J6, it would have been a few hundred people tops.
Bullshit. Vice did a whole they did a video walkthrough of the audience. They found 6 distinct different groups.
I'm also going to give December and November.
That's a fucking dog shit response. Who cares if they're distinct groups? Just because they're different groups doesn't mean that Donald Trump can't call them to come here. He can call different groups here. Like, what are you? I hate these people. I hate these people.
Remember, as an example, Trump didn't tell anybody in November, December to show up to DC, and we showed up in the thousands. As a matter of fact, I'd say that the November rally from November 14th was a lot. There was a lot more people attending that rally than they did on January.
Just so I can just fact check real quick.
The Million MAGA March. I could be off. But regardless of the fact, it doesn't change the fact that the president did not tell anybody to show up in November, and they still showed up in mass. I remember actually with Bobby that's sitting right next to me, I remember sitting on Capitol Hill and looking down Constitution Avenue and seeing people shoulder to shoulder all the way to the White House.
For what?
Well, yeah, but even then, earlier
was that so many people.
So, like, I know what you're talking about because Trump didn't even understand what was going on with the false elector plan until like early December. I get it, but all throughout November, you had like Ken Cheesebro talking about this. You had the First Amendment Praetorians who were talking about this. You had there was like this.
Is he comparing this to a rally compared to an event that doesn't the day before? Was it the day before? Is the day before? A rally is like a coordinated event that typically happens compared to just a random day of like to try to stop the election. These are two different things. A coordinated event, of course, people can show up with Donald Trump not telling them. It's a rally. The day before the certification of the vote, that's not an event. That's just a random day that Donald Trump chose because he wanted to stop the election. These are not the same. Are you trying to say that? Yo, I swear to God, these people are so bad faith and disgusting.
The slow boil online of riling people up to get them to believe that there was something that could be done about this, that Trump could have these 7 slates of frankly false electors to come in and then save the day in the last minute. And this was like, it was built up online. It was built up in certain channels in certain spheres in DC. It eventually got to Trump's desk in early December, and that's when he started pushing it personally. But it still came from a location, and it came from the right wing.
So let me ask you something.
Actually being upset about the election.
Let me ask you something about Pence then. So you're saying that they lied to them and they couldn't. Let's say, so then why is Pence considered a hero from the left if he decided to certify the election results? What if Pence decided to go with Trump's plan? Would that make a difference? Would
he'd be a traitor?
You'd be a traitor to the country. Is that a serious question? If he stopped the certification of the vote without any justifiable reason, just to capitulate to one man, that's a traitor to the country. Oh my God, these people!
He'd be a traitor, but wouldn't. But then there is a chance of something happening, right? There is a chance of going ahead and not certifying the election, correct?
What the fuck are you talking about? These people be yapping. They just be yapping. What?
Yeah, if the insurrection
So,
was
so
successful,
having that hope,
yeah, it's called doing something
having that hope that Mike Pence would do something would motivate people to try to protest.
Yes. It's not. Oh no, they wanted to force Pence to do something. They wanted to force his hand, which is why they were saying hang Mike Pence. They wanted to scare him to do something. They wanted him to go against the normal processes to capitulate to Trump. So I don't know what point this is being made here.
correct.
I truly believe. Look,
You're describing an insurrection. They would hope that their pressure there would force people like
no,
Pence
it would be illegal.
intimidation.
It would be a
It's
legal
not legal.
solution.
It would be
It
illegal.
would be a
It's
legal
not.
solution.
It's not
What if he
legal.
Remove this dipshit. Remove this dipshit. Tell him to go home and go fuck his anime girl pillow because he's just cringe. He's just cringe here. I want to say so many worse things, but
The language inside
if people, if you
One at a time, hold on, one at a time.
That's a very
Hold on, one at a time.
specific-
I need to fix this right here.
I understand, but let Destiny finish, then you can fix it, and then I want to hear from Grid.
Yeah,
That's the
go
order.
ahead.
And I
You're
see
talking
you
about
said-
as an insurrection.
Go ahead.
I'm talking.
Them unilaterally overthrowing 7 states worth of votes to pick their own electors would be depriving the American people of their right to vote.
But you're not. But you didn't argue with me when I asked if Mike Pence can do that, and that is a legal
No, he
solution.
can't.
If
Not
Mike-
legally. No, he
He
can't
legally
legally do
cannot.
it.
He legally cannot.
so he couldn't not certify the election or refuse to certify the election that day.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Legally, yes.
Okay, well then if you
Well,
just
to be clear, do you grant them that, Enrique, that not in a legal way, in no legal manner, could Mike Pence certify or not refuse to certify
not
the election?
yes, listen, I give him that.
Okay.
But what I'm
Just wanna make
saying,
sure.
my argument isn't that. My argument is that people thought we're getting in the minds of these people that people thought that Mike Pence was able to not certify the election.
Because
Maybe
Trump told
Tim
them.
has more insight if that's able, or maybe he
Well,
disagrees
because
with
Trump
me
told
there.
them that. Yes, they think that because Trump told them that. That's the whole point. This is why it's Trump's fault. Yes.
Listen, I believe that the president also thought that the election was stolen, along with
Don't care.
millions
You
of
can
other
live in
Americans.
its delusion. That's fine, but you're just giving an excuse then for why he was calling all those people there to insurrect the government. Because if you think
He wasn't calling anybody to insurrect the government. And let me tell you the schedule for that day.
Yeah, he was.
Everybody,
And
he wasn't even supposed to speak.
absolutely deep fried. His guy has no idea what he's talking about. Absolutely deep fried. Yes, you completely confirmed the points being made from the side of Destiny and Dev, right? The idea of their delusion that you're referring to, that they can change the election by having Mike Pence, stop the certification of the votes. They not if he wouldn't do it willingly, we're going to, terrify him. We're going to say, hang Mike Pence, would potentially even threaten his life. Not even potentially, definitely threaten his life. That's how we're going to stop the election for King Trump. And the only reason why they believe that is because your fucking boy, the guy that you love to bend over and suck off, he manipulated them to think that. Yes, that is one of the ways that you guys started an insurrection, is by Donald Trump manipulating his base of like fantasy delusions on how the electoral process works. But I know you guys don't care because you guys don't care about America. So
He didn't decide to speak until I think January 1st or the 31st. He decided a whole 10 or 11 days after that the rally was scheduled to be on there. And everybody thought, including my guys, thought that the president was going to speak at the Capitol, in front of the Capitol. Even the president says it, right? My guys were at the Washington Monument, which was the back of the ellipse. They couldn't see anything. They were pissed off that they got there late, that they woke up late because they got fucking sloshed the night before, and they wanted to get good seats. So that is why they moved to the Capitol so early, because they thought that he was going to go to the Capitol at that moment.
Hold on, so I actually have a question for you because now I'm really interested. So you just said that Donald Trump believed he was genuinely stolen from, right?
Correct.
Okay. And despite this, he still wasn't calling for an insurrection?
Not restraint.
He didn't. Can you tell me when he called for an
Woke up late
insurrection?
because
He got fucking
No, you
sloshed.
just said that he wasn't calling for an insurrection, right? Like you just said that?
He was not calling for an insurrection. That's correct.
Even though he believed he was stolen from, is he a cuck? Like what the fuck? If he was stolen from, he should be calling
He was
for an
pursuing.
insurrection.
He was pursuing, as he said, peacefully and patriotically, fucking protesting the
hold on,
election.
I just wanna-
It's a retarded. I thought it was arguing with the people that had to.
There will be order in this court. There will be order in this court. I want to give it to Grid, and then I want to give it to Gibbs. That's the order we're going.
This is something that's really annoying. That you guys keep acting like that things we know today to be more or less factual actually supports that there was massive irregularities with the election. All Trump was saying is, hey, there are massive irregularities with this election, and we should check this shit out, and we shouldn't just go ahead and stop Destiny. I've been very polite.
That's why Barr left. Then stop lying.
I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to finish. You can keep talking.
Doesn't like this point.
But I don't care what you like.
Yeah, of course.
Because you guys just keep on lying. Of course, when I consistently hear bullshit coming out of your mouth, I'm just not interested in hearing the bullshit coming out of your mouth. Stop repeating bullshit, and so we can work on a leveling play field.
The point is that we are looking at this, or you are looking at this through what you think you know today. Which, by the way, we're finding out every single day that those irregularities may have happened, or more credible. And
not true. Nothing credible about it. Nothing truth about that. You guys believed slop during. You guys believe slop now because you guys are fucking idiots. You guys are morons. You guys did not know how the process works. Donald Trump started putting in your head that the election was stolen. You guys believed it because you guys have no fucking ability to conceptualize the actual things that happen during an election. You guys made up a whole bunch of fake shit, constantly been called wrong, constantly been put to the court. Fox News got cooked. Dinesh got cooked. Everything you said about like that one video clip that was going around, that was doctored. That got cooked. Giuliani got cooked. And somehow you still believe it because you guys are fucking idiots. You guys are dumb as fuck. You guys are dumb as rocks. But hey, man, keep on pushing the misinformation to your dumb fucking idiotic base that still believes the election was stolen to make yourselves millionaires or thousandaires. I don't even fucking know. I don't know how much money some of these make, but yeah, this is so stupid.
The reality is that your rhetoric is breaking down. The rhetoric that you've been spewing for 4 years of there was no election fraud and it was Trump was trying to seize control.
Was none.
All that's breaking down because the reality is had they just given Trump what was he asking for, a week or 10 days to go through some of the irregularities?
He's been president for months and still hasn't found jack shit. He hasn't found nothing. So the week or 10 days, no, what? He doesn't get a fucking week to delay the election just because he fucking feels like it with no evidence. That's not how this fucking works. Hell fucking no. And went through the process. They said no, there's nothing. So the vote we went through the certification of the vote. That's not how it works. And even if he got 10 days or whatever, or a week or whatever, right? Even if he got that time, you guys still would think that the election is stolen. I'll be honest. He would never admit that it wasn't stolen. Never. There's nothing you can give him. So you can go fuck yourself.
The fact that nobody was willing to do that, and now they conveniently forget that that's what he was asking for, is stupid. You guys can't be
wanted to overturn the election.
So I've heard everything you have to say. Do you know the process of actually doing that, though? Of actually having this investigated? You know what the real process is? Because it did happen in 1876. You know this, right? That there was an electoral commission that was put forward, and in fact, the certification of the vote was delayed for 2 months. So all Congress had to do was to do the same thing they did in 1876. And the reason Congress didn't do that is because the riot fucking interrupted it. Like that's one big reason why the process didn't happen the way it should.
No, that's bullshit. You know it. No, that's complete. That is bullshit, Evan. You know it.
They would have done it.
Let Dev answer the question. Let Dev answer the question, or respond to the accusation.
If there was enough proof to convince the congressmen and the senators to actually have an electoral commission to investigate this, then they would have done so. There was no fucking proof. There's still no fucking proof. You're saying that new proof is coming out every day. Yeah, you're saying it's coming out every day. Are you talking about like the 350,000 votes from Georgia that went viral like last week?
315. I didn't mention that. I mentioned the Minnesota stuff that's happened with the duplicate voters we know are on the rolls, and we can go into other stuff like in Nevada that's come out recently.
There's no evidence in anything that gives us anything. He just saw something on social media and is just spouting it out. I looked up the Minnesota thing. Nothing out there. Couldn't find a single thing. He was just saw something on social media and making shit up.
All sorts of different examples. There's stuff in Texas. Like there's lots of examples.
It doesn't matter what example.
He made it up. He made everything up. He saw it on social media. Social media king. That's where MAGA lives. Live in their bubble of misinformation. Oh my, man. Social media being such a fucking disgusting cesspool of misinformation. We're really going to talk about that at some point.
Hold on, stop. Destiny, then Gibbs. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, okay, well, let's just work one specific example, okay? So one thing that Trump said, we can go through every single one of these we want. He said, then election officials pull boxes, Democrats, and suitcases of ballots out from under a table. He's talking about in Fulton County. We know that claim was a lie, and we knew that claim was a lie on day one. It was debunked. If you watch the video, they were put underneath the table when they were going to stop counting. Then they pulled those same boxes out from underneath afterwards. That was a lie. They knew it was a lie on day one, and Trump repeated it at the ellipse speech on January 6th.
Well, before we started arguing about what evidence we're
there we go.
I want to point out this game that they're doing real quick. It's really impressive how on the left over here they do this ticky-tack baby back bullshit with words.
An extreme pivot. We got to focus on things factual. Let's focus on facts that we actually seen the evidence for. Nope, we're just gonna just say random shit with no evidence. Okay, gotcha.
He
100.
didn't say peacefully, patriotically, or whatever at the exact right time. But then they go, "Oh, he was implying an insurrection."
Yes, the time on when you say things need to be peaceful and how you say it matter when it comes to riling up people. I'm sorry, you're too stupid to understand how mobs work. Yes.
Well, can you point to me where the word insurrection comes from? But then when you say that, they want to dismiss it, wave a hand, go, "Well, you know what he thinks," and it's just like there's no winning here. It's an all lose scenario.
You're just rambling, saying random shit. No idea what you're talking about.
They're just going to play dishonest, and it's really all propaganda because they don't really want to talk about the real insurrection, which is the stolen election via the fraud. That's really what's happening, and we're seeing it everywhere. And you just go, "Oh,
the fraud." Just prove.
Yeah, and when we were about to go through it, you pivoted.
Prove it.
We are proving it. That's why they're opening tons
No,
of
you
investigations.
haven't.
I mean,
There's
all
no
the time.
okay,
Fox News today said there's 250 to 500
Universe 25 experiment and Milgram experiment. What the fuck?
$500 billion dollars worth of fraud, $1 billion worth of fraud going away every year right now, estimated.
He's just making shit up. Random number. Making shit up. Making shit up.
And then we're seeing, oh, it's funding candidates. Oh, we're seeing, oh, it's in these states where we have tons of illegals, no voter ID. Wow, just a total coincidence that's happening.
But that said, actually, I just want to say is
illegal
actually an important observation. We wanted the debates to happen in Congress. So the fact that the riot happened and it canceled
Then why the fuck were you there?
Congress was not the appropriate forum for that.
You want the actual answer? Because the answer is not that we went there to interrupt the process that we wanted to happen.
Of course you did.
That makes absolutely no sense. Why would we
It makes
want
perfect
to
sense.
interrupt
It doesn't make any
the
sense that you think, how is Congress the appropriate forum when they're certifying the vote for a debate to happen about the electoral procedures?
It doesn't matter if you agree with it. That was the argument at the time. We're going to go there and support our brave congressmen and representatives. That was the point.
By breaking in and terrifying them? Yo, I genuinely hate these people with all my being, bro. He just said, oh, well, we only went there to support our congressman by breaking in and threatening the congressman. Go fuck your these people can really just go fuck them. I swear to God, bro.
Certify the vote to not accept the result of the election.
No, actually, you don't even know what happened.
I do know what happened. I've read all the fucking documents. You're just lying about everything. The whole
I read some shit on the internet, which makes me a professional.
No, he read the document, you dipshit. He's not MAGA, where they just read things on social media that are retweeted by Elon's fucking dumbass and think that's truthful information. That's not how it works. There's actual documents, court documents, legal documents that you read, that evidence you can see and come to a conclusion. I know that's foreign because the people you typically associate with don't do that. And this whole idea of like, he's trying to lie and make up shit on like why they were there. You can go fuck yourself. And you, obviously, Enrique Tarrio, you can go fuck yourself too.
The whole
That's
point
what you sound like.
How many people in here were convicted of what crimes? Give me a fucking break. Let him go. Let him go.
What I'm trying to say, because I actually am a witness. I can tell you my experience there. I actually went there, and my cell phone footage proves this. I didn't know there was any restricted area, and I'm not trying to put that on Proud Boys or Ryan Samsol or Ray Epps specifically.
You know who else was there? Was Pamela and Phila? Pamela something? What's her name? Pamela Hemphill. She was there, and she was honest on actually what happened there while you guys were trying to break in and cause violence, and you guys were doing illegal shit. Yeah, someone was there. She was honest. She was so honest that she denied her pardon. So, yeah, you.
But I walked into an area thinking that I was just there for a First Amendment demonstration. When the cops attacked us, it incensed us, and that was that. It doesn't mean it has to make
what part?
On the Western Terrace.
If a cop attacks you and you're on the Capitol grounds, your first thought is, "Wow, I'm getting attacked for no reason." Not maybe I.
Because I was present. Because I was present.
Yeah, because he thinks he had a peaceful protest.
What? You go on Capitol grounds and you think that the cop is in the wrong? Okay, I'm gonna ask the people. I'm gonna ask the people. I'm gonna take it there. I'm gonna take it there because I'm so infuriated with hearing this Jan 6 traitor. You think if a black person was in the wrong place at the wrong time and a cop calls him out and then the black person defies him, you think this bitch ass motherfucker would go like, you know, It's actually the cop attacked him, and it's not. It's not the cop's fault. It's actually, I mean, it is all the cop's fault, and it's not the black person's fault. The black person is completely justified. You think people like this would actually admit that? You think so? If they were in the wrong place in the wrong time, and a place that they were not supposed to be, you think they would admit it? You know why I took it there? You know why? And I hate taking it there. I really hate taking it there. It's just so ridiculous that every time I hear people on the right talking about like respecting the law, respecting the government, respecting the powers to be, and now they're playing blissfully ignorant or maliciously lying to avoid accountability. The idea that they thought they could go wherever they wanted to peacefully protest on Capitol grounds where congressmen, where officials from the White House is some of, I can't even say some of the dumbest, because MAGA is just so unbelievable. These people are unbelievable. I'm actually flabbergasted how much dumb things I'm hearing in this debate.
Which you, by the way, seem to support. I bet when I say you're over there crying for her.
Hold on. Let's
didn't
go.
know it was trespassing because you're not understanding the context of people pouring into an area, not knowing to restrict an area. We didn't know.
We're not even. No one's even arguing this. I'm sure there are some people that probably trespassed that weren't aware that they were trespassing. None of us are arguing.
Most of them. Because they happened to half hour before I even showed up.
Wow. Well, it sounds like Donald Trump maybe should have clarified before he sent all of them over to the Capitol to try to disrupt the counting vote. Maybe people tore barriers down before his speech.
So where did President Trump, since it was so nuanced?
I know that was my earlier claim.
Since it was so nuanced, where did President Trump?
Ask your question.
We know that.
So it's funny to me that he says that the cops weren't inciting it. We had a professional witness on the stand, a use of force witness on the stand that specifically covers riot control. And when we asked him these pepper balls and these rubber bullets, where are they? If there's a crowd, where are they shot into? And they're usually shot into the front of the crowd. They tell them not to shoot into the back of the crowd because the opposite effect can happen. If you look at the video from the cops that were overlooking from an eagle's nest position, they weren't shooting at the front of the crowd. They were shooting at the back of the crowd. And one of those people that got shot, his name is Joshua Black. Also, a couple of Proud Boys that were far back, about 100 feet back, were getting peppered with pepper balls. And I know that aggravated the crowd. So I'll take the word of a use of force professional before I take the word of a podcaster that's read shit on the internet. He just said that. Read shit on the internet and is a self-proclaimed.
He said it read legal documents of the case that you were in, you dipshit. And I guess this one random legal expert opinion matters more than the cops and the cops that were actually there, that were actually dealing with the riots. The one random expert matters more than them dealing with thousands of people trying to invade the Capitol. Right, understood, gotcha. I mean, that's hilarious.
Being professional in things that have to do with
gender. Just to understand, this was an expert witness that was brought on for the side that lost the court case, right?
That witness actually was.
And that's the nail in the coffin. You guys lost your case, but apparently this guy, everything he says, actually everything you guys say, truthful. We should take it fully, and we should believe everything you say. You lost the case. Well, it's only because liberals in the jury. Gotcha. I understand how it works. Everything I say is correct. Everything everybody else says is wrong. I understand how that works. That's what you call cult brain. That's cult brain right there.
Yeah. Both of the witnesses for the government and for myself, both of them are use of force, and both of them answered exactly the same way. So you could try that with somebody else, not here. You could take that shit somewhere else.
There's also plenty of video, though. The man he's talking about, Joshua Black, was shot through the face with plastic rounds and was bleeding all over the West Terrace. People who weren't aware of what was going on were incensed by that, and there's plenty of testimony from defendants. I mean, you can disregard defendants because you think they're guilty, but there's plenty of actual eyewitness testimony about
guilty are the ones.
Yes, there's plenty of evidence of you guys going to the Capitol, threatening congressmen, threatening Mike Pence, going where you weren't supposed to, breaking inside without permission, causing a lot of violence, beating up cops, threatening cops' lives. Yes, there's a lot of evidence of you guys doing that action, but yeah, it's the cops' fault for doing their job and protecting the White House. It's their fault for that. Okay, understood. Right. Not the people who actually went there to cause the problems. Yes, that's how it works.
No, no.
You know? Yeah.
You know where I find cowardice in Destiny? He's saying what he wants to say, but he's still there. He's still got that fear. Just say what you want to say. You want your political opponents to be in prison. Look, if we're playing this game where we're playing this
that are trying to circumvent the lawful outcome of the election in prison, yes, and especially people are planning to do it.
Okay, but you want the person trying to run over an ICE agent. You want them to go free. All right. So look, if you want to say what you truly want to say, look, I'm going to be you.
And she didn't run free. She died, you bitch. So what are you talking about? Run free by her not dying? Run free by her not dying? Is that running free? Her just not dying? What are you talking about? These people are such pieces of shit, man. These people are such pieces of shit. Yes, he wants the people, which you agree to, by the way. You agree that, oh yeah, certain people probably should get some time in prison. But now you're trying to play victim like a little coward you are. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
For a second. I would celebrate the death. I would celebrate the death, like you celebrated the death of Ashley Babbitt. Celebrate the death of one of ours. We celebrate the death of one of yours. And let's stop playing this game where we pretend that we don't have a bias here.
Not similar at all. Not similar at all.
Here, because you do have a bias. You want to see us in prison. That's fine. You know what? I would respect you more. I would respect you more when you say, "I want my political, I want my political prison." I would respect you more. If you don't have the balls, you don't have the decency to actually say what you feel.
I'll be honest. I couldn't do this, Wick. I'll call her. Stop crying like a bitch and just engage in the conversation. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do this. I
want to hear.
Let it out. Let it out. Tell people how you really feel.
Just real quick, please. Destiny.
What's up?
Well, we're not. And you know what? It makes you angry that we're not.
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, because Donald Trump's
stop. I'm gonna have to give you the mic, Destiny. Destiny. I want to know specifically what you and Dev's strongest argument is that this is an insurrection, and then they can deal with that. What is your strongest piece of evidence that this was an insurrection on January 6th? Go ahead.
Well, me and Dev will put forth our own thing. I think.
Exactly.
I think that.
Sure. See, yeah.
I would say probably the. Are you going to say the false electors? Or are you going to say Trump's behavior during the insurrection, Dev? Which one do you want to go with? Or are you do have a totally
I'll go with false electors. I know.
Why don't you think for yourself and just answer the question?
I would say that Trump's behavior, you're an actual Trump guzzling sheep. I don't know why you would ever tell me to think for myself, sir. I think that the strongest piece of evidence is how Trump acted during the insurrection itself. So, for instance, when there were multiple family members, when there were multiple members of government that were begging him to call off the rioters, and Donald Trump was making phone calls to congressmen telling them that, well, maybe you should consider flipping your vote or changing your vote. He had even the call with McCarthy, where he was saying, well, maybe they're mad for a good reason. And Giuliani was also making similar phone calls. I think that was very evident that things were going as he wanted them to, that he was happy to see the insurrection carry on. And rather than actually calling down the National Guard to go there immediately and to stop it, he was happy to watch it continue on because he was hoping eventually he would delay the certification of the vote or flip it to himself. I think that's one of my strongest pieces.
Okay, Dev, go ahead with yours, and then we'll get the response from all of them. Go ahead, Dev.
I mean, we've already talked about these 7 slates of false electors before in this conversation. You guys think that basically Trump was stolen from, and so this was part of the actual procedure. Basically, it was based on the 1960 election because there were dueling electors in 1960. The difference is that in 1960, the state of Hawaii actually signed off on the alternate slate of electors. That didn't happen here. We have the false elector papers. They're publicly available to see. You can see that no state government actually signed off on any of those electors. At the same time, I have now at this point read 64 full court cases on what happened during the 2020 election, all the audits, all the recounts, all the investigations. No fucking evidence has ever been produced. And additionally, everyone says, oh, it's standing. Standing's the reason why those court cases didn't go anywhere. Well, guess what? If you actually read the court cases, you'd realize that pretty much in every single one, the judges actually said, hey, even though there's no standing for this, we are going to do like an impromptu kind of look at the merits anyway, because we understand this is actually really important, that everyone really cares about this. And so you can actually read the court documents and realize there's fucking nothing. There's no evidence of anything. In all of these cases, Trump just lost them on standing, on merits, on everything, because there is no fucking evidence. And I know everyone's talking about, oh, there's new evidence coming out right now. All these no, it's all bullshit. Like in Georgia, the 315,000 extra like improper votes. What that was you had like a poll worker who failed to sign out at the end of his shift, and so it turns out that those the ballots that he was involved with were were not signed off on properly, but they're still all completely legitimate ballots. And then guess what? Once that state was recounted, those were all recounted properly and recertified, and they were all signed off on. So like even these little moments where you have like technical snafus that don't actually disqualify any votes or show any fraud, none of it ever pans out to anything. It's all bullshit.
Okay.
There's no chain of authority, which means
absolutely deep fried filet. Okay, this guy. Hey man, he has time. I know. I seen he has a YouTube channel. I wish if I start really making some money from this channel and I can like be full political content creator, I would be very interested in like reading more of this like legal documents. I just don't have time to do all of that, unfortunately. But I respect him. He read all of it. He said he did, and he knew what he was talking about. Everything he should like. For the most part, I already knew these things, but I think he laid out his argument very, very thoughtfully. And at this point, I have no idea how you're going to make an argument against it. But you know what they're going to probably do is like, oh, the system's against us. We actually do have evidence, but they're against us. Guarantee, because they have nothing of substance to say after that one. Concrete, covered all your bases, good shit. All right, let's see what this loser who fucks body pillows has to say.
Go ahead, streamer, and I want to hear the rest of you. Go ahead.
There's no chain of authority, which means they didn't follow their own state laws. And so that calls into question whether they were legitimate or not. And it's 2 signatures.
What? There's no chain of authority. What are you talking about? What do you mean there's no chain of authority? The state is the authority.
The other thing is an insurrection, the definition I looked up.
You didn't make a point. You just said random shit. And people are going to think, well, yeah, he said this. I'm going to use it. I have no idea what this fucking means, but he just said random shit. The authority is the state. So I don't know what that point was. That
a
was
violent uprising against an authority or government. It was an appeal to government. It was saying you're doing something that we'd like you to do differently. It was explicitly not saying we have another plan. Let's have a new government. So definitionally,
they threatened Mike Pence to do what they wanted. It wasn't an appeal. It was a threat. Threat is violent. The threat. They threatened Congress to do what they wanted. They threatened Mike Pence to do what they wanted. They didn't ask nicely. They literally had signs of saying, hang Mike Pence. Is hang Mike Pence an appeal? Seriously?
As an insurrection, nobody was trying to overthrow the government. They were trying to get Congress to elect. Even if you say, oh, well, Mike Pence couldn't fail to certify the election. Okay, fine. That's an appeal to government, not an overthrow of it.
Oh my God!
Definitionally, it is an overthrow of the government. He lost, and they wanted to keep him in.
You
wanted to keep him in office.
The government. He said
the new government was supposed to be Biden, and you wanted to overthrow the count to keep Trump entrenched in power.
Destiny, stay here. How is saying, dear government, you did something wrong. I'd like you to do it different. An overthrow of that.
They didn't do that. Stop trying to pass by what they did. You little cuck.
Government.
Because when you're saying the thing you did wrong was you kept in a guy in power that I don't want, or you have voted a new guy in power that I don't want you to have in power. You're insurrecting.
That's not what they were saying. They're saying we don't think you were valid results. So they're saying government.
You do realize.
I'm just calling them names. I need to stop doing that. I hate this guy. I hate everybody here that's part of Gen 6. I hate all of them, all their guts. But constantly just calling names is funny. It's hilarious. I fuck them. But I need to sometimes be a little bit more civil. I am when I actually have good political conversations. These people are just disgusting pieces of filth. Chill out. Relax. All right. All right, I'm gonna keep this playing. Use about
so you do realize that Trump went to Pence and said, "Hey, listen, don't send these 7 electors back to the states. Just install me as the next president." Trump said that to Pence.
So what part of the insurrection is them overthrowing the government?
It's Trump telling Pence to install him as government.
The certification of the vote was literally delayed.
Definitely not an insurrection, Devin.
Breaking into it definitionally is. I've read so much more about this than all of you fucking retards combined. Okay, but it definitionally is. They broke into the Capitol for the first time in the history of the United States government. The certification of the vote was delayed. It happened because of violence at the Capitol. It was the goal of
the first time in history we had massive mail-in voting, which is the most fraudulent form of voting.
We didn't have any fraud. We did then, and you found no fraud. How sad is that? Just like Doge, nothing.
Years later, how are we supposed to know this months
after the election? I got a question for all of you. I have a question for all of you, okay? Let's say it's 2016, okay? And Trump wins 2016 fair and square because he obviously did. And now let's say Joe Biden, presiding over the counting of the vote, says, you know what?
I just want to be clear. Mail-in balloting is, regardless, even if you say it's like the least liked way of voting, which is fine because there's a best and a least. That's how ranking works for people who are dumb. Even if you want to say that, there is still no evidence that there was any fraudulent mail-in ballots, and we know this was obviously a new thing that they were trying to do. Why? I don't know. COVID. No shit. A lot of people were inside.
I'm just going to start tossing out electors, and we're going to install Hillary Clinton as president. Would you guys have stood for that?
What does that have to do with whether it was an insurrection?
Would you have stood for it?
Yes, why are you moving the goalpost?
Yo, these people are so stupid. They can't understand, and they can't understand anything. Like I can't be good faith when they're this stupid. The analogy was to showcase a similar action to the action that he's insinuating that is an insurrection. He gave an analogy of an insurrection to confirm his definition of an insurrection. That like these people. Oh my God.
Yes or no?
And I do
No,
want.
we're not
I do
playing
want-
your game.
Hold on. I do want people to answer this question.
Yes or no?
No, I asked the question first, and it got dodged. How's that fair?
Can you?
What was the dodge?
Yeah. What was your question? What
The
was the dodge?
dodge, because he was like, "Oh, it's the first time in whatever that it was delayed for 3 hours." And I'm like, "Dude, this is the first time in I don't know ever
What's the
that there was
question?
this volume." I'm asking, how are you going to say that this was like ginned up solely by Trump when there were so many other factors absent Trump
Because
that
every
got people
single
mad
thing-
enough to
because
show up that day?
Yeah, they all came from Trump. Every single piece of voter fraud
No,
that was brought to
bullshit.
him was debunked by
Bullshit.
Barr. Why did Barr quit? Why did Barr quit?
Oh my God, these people are so dumb. Just because there's other things that people care about doesn't mean that the ultimate reason, the catalyst that decides that, that neuron that depicts whether you decide to do something, it doesn't mean that that neuron wasn't all the same thing. The reason why you are at specific place at specific time is because I sent you a birthday invite for you to come here. You might have came here because you wanted cake. You might have came here because you wanted to dance. You might have came here just to give me a present. But the only reason why you're here is because I invited you. It's because I gave you an invitation. You dumb motherfucking moron. That's how things work when it comes down to people meeting at the same location at the same time. I don't know what's so hard to understand that. Why is MAGA so freaking stupid that they don't understand simple concepts? Oh my God. This video is making me
Quit
crash.
before the certification.
I'm talking about they didn't have that much time between
They had
the
plenty of
decision of there was only months. There was only months.
Months.
Destiny,
That's a lot of time to find any voter fraud at all. To find one piece of voter fraud. There's plenty of time. Yeah.
No, was the voters
Well,
fraud,
since
like,
just
the
real
mail-in
quick,
voting
before you ask more
investigated?
questions, hold on. Before you ask more questions, Dev did ask you a question. Your
asked
question
everyone
just
their
got
question,
answered.
I'm still
Can you answer his?
Because your question
In 2016,
they
if
answered
Joe
it.
Biden had decided to get rid of the electors and install Hillary Clinton as president, would you have stood for that?
I would have gone to go protest at the Ellipse.
There you go.
Like you guys protested last time inside the building.
See, Enrique answered it. What about the rest of
With
you?
a fun protest.
I mean, I'll answer it. I didn't know it was specifically to the whole panel, but sure.
Yeah,
I'll
everyone
answer.
go ahead.
Okay. So had Biden installed Hillary Clinton just because, or are we talking about
let's
we
say
think that
that a
there's
whole
massive
bunch of-
election
okay,
fraud,
what-
or what?
A
What do
whole
we?
bunch of Democratic officials cooked up a whole bunch of alternate electors and said, "Hey, Biden, use these."
You mean like that
Yes,
Steele
sir.
dossier to try and smear Trump of Russian
That's
collusion and all that?
Were there any
Exactly.
false
Not
electors in that
relevant.
dossier?
Not even close.
I mean, there wasn't,
was-
but I mean,
there was- no,
I'm
there wasn't,
I'm
yeah.
shocked she missed the
That's
trick.
not election.
Not relevant at all. That's actually something completely off topic. That's an example of something not being relevant to what we're talking about at all. But nice throw in. Nice throw in. You thought you did something. You didn't. But okay.
Interference.
Wait, no,
There we
that was a really good point. That Steele dossier. How many fake electors were cooked up as a result of that? Can I hear an answer from the panel for that? How many?
Give me one
Well,
minute.
wait, you're asking the wrong question. Is that election interference?
Didn't the Steele dossier, wasn't it published after the election happened?
I'm just asking you a question.
Well, if it was after the election happened, then definitionally the answer would be no. If time only goes in one direction.
So Russiagate was before all of that, before the
No, so
2016
Russiagate was after
election.
the election. That's why it's such a stupid fucking conspiracy
Okay.
theory. Because the person
Well,
that hurt
no.
Hillary the most.
No.
probably
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't. There was a PR campaign in 2016. I remember because I was there. I was into the 2016 campaign. So don't tell me that there was no Russia before 2016. That's election interference. That's exactly what it is. That the report came out after that. That's fine.
Year, the election after the election was when the Steele dossier was leaked. Well, BuzzFeed published it. It was after the
The
election. so
report was
it's kind of the worst-
published. The
it's kind of the
propaganda
worst
was
thing
started in
ever.
2016.
Really, yeah, you keep saying that whole year. 2016 is a long. There's like 12 months, 365.
Yeah,
days,
and the election was at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. And the Steele dossier was
Count,
published
count.
afterward. Yeah.
Arithmetic, dude.
Well, we talked about stolen election. I can give you an example right here. We have what's her name? We have the executive director for Wisconsin's election commission, Claire Whittle-Vaughn. She was convicted of voter fraud in 2024.
Just a real quick.
And we just got an email
Yep.
that was released.
I have a fact check
that
for the
says-
Steele dossier. It was published on Mother Jones on October 31st, 2016. So it was just before the U.S. presidential election. So,
Okay, just for the
Okay, so we have an email just today from this person who's been convicted of voter fraud, saying, "quote Xerox 64,000 ballots in the back of the conference room."
Wait, why the fuck? You know what? I respect you doing that. Why though? Like, I don't get the point of putting out that fact check. I love facts. I truly do. If I was having a good faith conversation, I would love that. I would appreciate that. They don't deserve any wins. I'm be honest. They don't deserve any wins. You could go like afterwards, like, okay, Destiny was wrong here, but no, fuck them. I respect Wake. I respect it though. I'm not mad at it.
Milwaukee City Hall, room 501 at 3 a.m. Guess what? They won a percentage by in Wisconsin, 0.63%, and that's how much Biden won by. So it looks like, yeah, we are starting to find examples of the election being stolen, like this example. Like, I mean, so when you're saying
he's just throwing out random things that he found somewhere. I don't know where he found this, but this is to prove his case, even though all the other points and evidence that you guys brought out has all been debunked. But you just finding this random story is you proving your. I hate these people so much. I hate them so much. I hate them. It's like it's the same thing as the people with like who make up the claims about the earth being flat, right? They'll go on and on and on. The earth is flat, the earth is flat, the earth is flat. They find one piece of evidence and then use that to confirm. Everything else they said gets debunked. This one piece of evidence that they found randomly is like, oh yeah, this confirms it though. It's just insanity. All right, what random piece of information did he say?
Quote Xerox 64,000 that was released.
I have a fact check.
Washington's election commission. Claire Whittle-Vaughn. She was convicted of voter fraud in 2024.
Just a real quick.
And we just got an email that was released.
I have a fact check for the Steele dossier. It was published on Mother Jones on October 31st, 2016. So it was just before the U.S. presidential election. So.
Okay, just for the.
Okay, so we have an email just today from this person who's been convicted of voter fraud, saying, "quote Xerox 64,000 ballots in the back of the conference room, Milwaukee City Hall, room 501 at 3 a.m. Guess what? They won a percentage by in Wisconsin, 0.63%, and that's how much Biden won by. So it looks like, yeah, we are starting to find examples of the election being stolen, like this example.
Do I waste my time fact checking? He's been wrong so much. Do I waste my time fact checking this random example that came out of nowhere? He's just like, I bet he typed in on ChatGPT examples of voter fraud since 2021. I guarantee that's what he typed in ChatGPT.
1 at 3 a.m. Guess what? Xerox have an email just today from
before the U.S. presidential election. So.
Okay, just for the.
Okay, so we have an email just today from this person who's been convicted of voter fraud, saying, "quote Xerox 64,000 ballots in the back of the conference room, Milwaukee City Hall, room 501 at 3 a.m. Guess what? They won a percentage by in Wisconsin, 0.63%, and that's how much Biden won by. So it looks like, yeah, we are starting to find examples of the election being stolen, like this example. Like, I mean, so when you're saying there's no evidence, there's evidence coming out every day. The Election Commission Executive Director Claire Woodall-Vaughn.
All right.
So yeah, and it's pretty crazy.
We're still waiting.
I guess if you stop reading,
how was the election stolen?
She was convicted before this email was found out.
How was the election stolen in 2016, 2017? You said Russia. How was that used to steal the election? You guys brought that up as an example of trying to steal an election.
No, I said that's election interference. That's attempting. And attempting is conspiracy in its own nature, so it should be prosecuted. And the person, all the people involved there.
And it's still crazy that they care about like all these elections and affecting elections and talk about, oh yeah, this person does something that was interfering or something bad regarding the election. But Donald Trump has pardoned so many people that have, fraudulent, have done like fraud, or at the very least took money from their constituents or took money from foreign entities. All those people can get pardoned, and you guys say nothing. You guys can go fuck yourselves. I'll be honest.
It should get 22 years.
So many mainstream media companies had this dossier, and it was Mother Jones that eventually published. Was it Mother Jones or was it? I thought BuzzFeed was the first one to publish it
on October 31st, 2016, just before.
Mm-hmm. Are you sure it wasn't? I'm almost positive it was BuzzFeed.
So it shouldn't.
Wait. Reported on and then published in its entirety. My understanding is that BuzzFeed published it. Oh, you mixed it up for reported on.
That's correct. That's correct.
BuzzFeed published it on January 10th, 2017. Okay, thank you. So I was correct. Thank you.
All right, found the story. So, a Milwaukee jury found a former election official guilty of election fraud involving absentee ballots Wednesday afternoon. Kimberly Zapta, the former deputy director of the Milwaukee Election Commission, was also found guilty of misconduct in public office, a felony, after she admitted to using fake names to request military absentee ballots on her work laptop in 2022. Zapta then sent those ballots to the home of Republican State Representative Janelle Brandtjen, who is promoting false theories about election fraud. Zapta, 47, has been on trial. Why would you send it to a Republican state rep? During opening statements, Proctor says committed fraud and violated the public trust. However, her defense attorney said she acted as a whistleblower. As deputy director, Zapta was in charge of early voting, absentee voting, and voter registration for the city of Milwaukee. She was fired by the city, charged with crimes in November 2022. Her sentences will be held in May 2nd. She faces up to 3.5 years in prison. Hey, man, if she's fraudulent election, throw her in jail. I'm fine with that. Election is on the forefront of many voters' minds. It's presidential shaping up. Said rare, bordering it unheard of. So rare circumstance, not really finding anything new, but this is a rare circumstance of someone being fraudulent. To expose vulnerability, blah, blah, blah. The actions were a violation of trust. Admitted to add to redirect state lawmaker from fake election conspiracies. Requested through blah, blah, or mailed by clerk. Used her municipal login code to access a private website to database. Define the address the ballots received at her home were addressed to Holly Brandon. When the ballots arrived at her home, the lawmaker contacted authorities and the media. Following the incident, the Wisconsin Election Commission said multiple checks in place to ensure fraudulent military absent ballots are not counted. That to highlight a need for change, and she was showing the truth with an action. So she did it just because she could. They're saying she was a whistleblower. It sounds like she did it just because she could, and it was exposing the system versus trying to change the election is the argument. So she just did it just cause. Wait, what? So they weren't trying to fraud the election. She was just showing that she could. What the fuck? Was she a Republican? Is this a Republican? Hold on. Why did she send it to a Republican? What was her? This was a weird situation. Okay, so what I'm getting out of it is that this woman, their argument is she only did it because she knew she could. She wanted to show a flaw in the system, and then she sent it to a Republican, and then that Republican was like, what the fuck? And this was never supposed to be used for elections, just to show the flaw of the system. So his argument on we're fighting fraud is a Republican exposing herself. So your party's doing the fraud. Wait, how is this own on Biden and the Dems if the Republicans are the ones doing the fraud? Like this is hilarious. This is hilarious. He brought up this MFer right here. Brought up a whole story. Oh, Destiny looks into it. Oh, is he gonna say what I just found out? Because this is some bullshit. No way. He found an example of fraud, and it's a Republican doing the fraud to expose fraud, but she wasn't actually gonna do the fraud. She just wanted to expose an imaginary fraud. Nah, you can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. All mega culty mad. While at work, shit, I have Gibbs in my Discord, and he is in the brightest ball. Yeah, he's a fucking idiot, bro.
Thank you, Jesus.
He just read a random story on the internet, bro.
Okay, I gotta make a little money, so let me read some of these.
All right, thank you. Jesus.
He
That's
thought he
correct.
could.
That's
But-
correct.
Let's get this.
There should get 20 conspiracy in its own nature, so it should be prosecuted. And the person,
Publicly.
so it shouldn't. I mean,
Wait. Reported
how
on
many
is
days?
different than published in its entirety. My understanding is that BuzzFeed published it. Oh, you
Yes.
mixed it up for reported
Yes, the
on.
full-
Oh, no,
That's
okay.
That's correct. That's correct. The
BuzzFeed
full
published it
35
on
dossier
January 10th,
dossier on-
2017. Okay, thank you. So I was correct. Thank you. Jesus.
Okay, I gotta make a
we
little
got
money, so let me read some of these super chats, and then we'll get back to the show.
I'll make that into a clip. Gibbs' dumbass thought he could, bro.
$10 from Artemis Fowl to say, didn't the ellipse speech have specifically peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard in it? I see several video and an NPR article saying it happened. Weird. Thank you for the $10.
Yes.
Artemis,
The words are in there. The point they're making, I'm not repeating myself.
start showing up to these again.
Zero Fox for 10-month membership. Thank you, buddy. Peacefully and patriotically hit like and subscribe. True. $5 from Mr. Wise Guy Plays. When Trump sees violence, he said, stop being violent and be peaceful. Destiny says that's just nonsense. Good one. Cope.
Stop being violent? Wait, he tweeted that? Was that a tweet that he said?
Remain calm, remain peaceful.
Paraphrasing.
Paraphrasing? Oh, because when somebody says remain peaceful, that makes it sound like there's no violence happening. That's what I would assume. But okay.
Okay,
Trump did tweet
Quantum
this. He
Fantasy,
says, "I know
just
you're
real quick.
paying."
Quantum Fantasy member for 15 months. Wow. Gibbs being so well behaved up there in the corner. Well, we'll see. The soy pill for $5. And this is to Enrique. What did do what must be done, end quote, mean, Enrique?
Are we up?
I need to start being in the chats for some of these streams. I just don't. I want to be on more Wix panels, but I just never have time to hop on Wix panels. I just don't. I don't have time. But shout out Wick, man. Always rock with what he's doing. Always rock with what he's doing. Oh fuck.
Answering it now, or are you going to the super chat? Okay. I was excited. I was excited about what was going on at the Capitol. I was watching it on TV, and I said, "Do what must be done."
So yeah,
I was celebrating. I was celebrating the shit out of what happened that day. Yes, super fucking guilty of it.
Yeah, but what did you want to be done?
I wanted them to keep going.
That's you're such a bitch. Oh my god, you're a bitch. You're such a bitch. Oh, just keep on going. What did you want to be done? What did you want to keep on going? I just wanted them to keep on doing it. That's not a fucking answer. Answer the question, you pussy.
Okay.
Keep going. How?
I wanted them to stay there. I wanted them to
Answer the yo. This guy's such a fucking pussy. Oh my god, bro. Oh man. I would be like, bro, answer the fucking question. What did you want them to do?
protest. I wanted them to stay there. Yes.
Okay, so
I didn't want them to leave inside the Capitol building. I wanted to
Yeah.
occupy the Capitol building. Yes.
Yeah, we know.
And
$5, just real quick, $5 from Mr. Wise Guy.
To disrupt, to insurrect. That's what that means. That's definitionally an insurrection, right?
No,
Destiny.
no,
That's
no.
what I want to do.
Definitionally it is. You're using threat and
For me to
intimidation.
answer or Destiny to sit here and fucking.
Yeah, it's definitionally an insurrection.
Let me get through this. Okay, we got more. I promise.
But-
We'll get there. We'll get there. I promise. Mr. Wise Guy Plays for $5 says Destiny doesn't care about things. That's not framed in his anti-Trump worldview. Change my mind. $5 from Audacity. This is fun. It's like when Dad used to put on Boomer Radio and they would play Greatest Hits. Makes my basement Reno easier to do. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thank you for $5. $20 from Josiah from Pondering Politics. If January 6th was mostly peaceful because only a small number of attendees engaged in violence, each of these fine MAGA fellas would agree every individual BLM riot, not protest, was likewise definitionally mostly peaceful. Do you guys agree with that?
Wait, I didn't.
Sure.
I didn't get that.
If
You didn't get. These people are so stupid.
The vast majority of the BLM protests and even the riots themselves would be peaceful by that definition, because every riot only has like 1 to 5% of people actually rioting. There's no riot where
So Destiny,
every
would
single
we
person is
agree?
breaking shit.
All of the BLM protests, all of the J6
Yo. Okay. Let him answer before I crash out. Relax.
protests, everybody gets a pardon if you weren't violent. We all agree on.
That wasn't. Answer the question. Answer the fucking question. Don't answer the question with another fucking question. Answer the question. Yo, these people. Bro.
That right, Destiny?
No, we have more crimes in this
policy
country.
on
We have
both groups?
violent crimes. What a stupid
No.
point. There are plenty of crimes you
Oh,
commit
okay.
that
So we
involve
don't agree
violence.
that nonviolent protest is equally pardonable. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Non-violent protest?
That's not the fucking. I hate this.
I'm
guy.
talking
I
about
hate
occupying a
this
Capitol building with the
I
buildings
literally
of the
just fucking
government.
asked you.
That's
if
the
we-
definition of
If anybody-
occupying.
if
Occupying a
anybody
building
is
is non-violent.
Occupying
Yeah,
definitionally
You're aware
is
of
not
sit-ins,
violent.
right?
Just
Destiny.
fucking say it.
Yeah,
You just
you're
want
already
to
gonna
fall in
get
prison.
arrested. It's called
You
civil
want all Trump
disobedience.
supporters in
Yeah,
prison.
yeah,
Just
civil
fucking admit it.
disobedience.
That's
Yeah, at
it.
this point, hell yeah,
You
do.
fucking
Hell yeah,
you
100%.
exactly. Thank you.
Absolutely,
Thank you.
100%
I
at this
respect
point.
you for that.
Thank you, and I
Please.
respect you more. You
An
admitted
olive
you
branch.
guys were attempting an insurrection. You failed, and that's why they
Whoa,
beat you in
no,
Afghanistan.
I would
I'll agree
respect
with you.
if
All
you
I want to
consider
see is
any
you
other
guys in
alternative.
prison. I want you to see. I want you to suffer. I want you to suffer like my family
Damn, every
suffered.
day I'm
I want you to
suffering right
pay like
Mhm.
my family paid. I want you to do exactly what we did. If I could right now, how I
Oh my god, this guy sounds like a little wuss with all this victim mentality. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
feel and the shit that I went through, not before. I didn't feel like this before. I would have heads on pikes at this moment.
We know
right?
one of you guys was
Because of
screaming
what
at
you did
Just
to
real
everybody.
quick, just real quick, please,
March, yeah.
Enrique. Whose heads would you like to see on pikes specifically?
The people who
All
did
the
this,
liberals.
the people who did
DTs.
this deserve that. Yes.
The imagined enemies.
did
Yes.
what?
Was
Yeah, who did
schizophrenia
what?
a requirement to
I
joining
believe
the
the
Because everybody
prosecutors.
remember.
Who did
I
what?
believe that the
Unbelievable.
prosecutors in this case, I believe all the aides that helped fucking the suffering of 1,600 people and their families, I think that they should be investigated. I believe that they should be investigated for treason, and I believe that they should get the proper punishment for what treason is. That's what I believe that they should.
Yes, the people trying to overturn the election and invade the Capitol, they're not treacherous, they're not treasonous, but the people who was like, you know what, you probably should get punished for that, they're treasonous. Gotcha, understood. They understood how this works.
To do because that they're nothing less than treasonous pigs, and that's all they deserve.
Okay.
If I
would
may,
not.
Tim,
I would not like to see Destiny endure what we endured.
so-
I would just wish he would change his mind about his political opposition. I wouldn't want you to have to.
Tim is a better
wear-
person than I am.
I don't
No,
know.
I know. I know the consequences of weaponized government, and I don't want to see it. I'm not a Republican.
Yeah, you can go fuck yourself. I don't give a fuck what you say, what you call yourself or you don't call yourself. You're a MAGA traitor. Go fuck yourself. You wanted to overthrow the election. You can go fuck yourself.
You know, I was a labor leader. I'm not far right. I understand.
left or far left, yeah.
Go fuck
don't
yourself.
want-
I don't go fuck.
I'm
Go
not in
fuck
favor of it. I don't believe in
Go
returning
fuck
evil for
yourself.
evil, even though I got pissed off that day. But I'm sorry I interrupted.
Snowman,
But,
no.
it's about
Log
all
I don't
types,
give a fuck.
all heads.
Okay.
Disavow.
$5
Go
from
fuck. Go fuck
Adashura
yourself.
to say for the traitors of America. What
Now
was
we're
peaceful
saying
about
that
chanting,
after you
"Hang
try to
Mike
overthrow
Pence"?
the election and fuck
Also,
the country.
if you
go
think
fuck
that didn't
yourself.
happen, why didn't Mike run again?
Was that as a serious threat as people supposedly wiping feces on the wall, which didn't happen? There's a couple clips you can find of people chanting stuff, but I mean, where was the rope? That was never going to
Also,
happen. You had people yelling.
Are you serious? Are you serious? If he really felt sorry for what he did, he wouldn't be defending it like this. You're a piece of shit. Oh my god, bro. Like, like what? His defense on, oh yeah, I mean they didn't have rope, so who cares that they said, "Oh, hang Mike Pence." Go fuck yourself. I hate these people. So
That was the
Oh, yeah,
biggest thing that they didn't have the
Obligatory,
rope.
obligatory disavow. Disavow.
Disavow. You shouldn't do this. No hanging of anyone
Good one.
unless a proper trial. Enrique was talking
I
about.
find it
Oh, you're
interesting
so
that
funny.
Destiny
You're
and
so
this
funny.
is from Mr. Wise Guy Plays another $5. I find it interesting that Destiny in the beginning said that Trump never said anything about people needing to be peaceful. Completely walk that back.
Nope. I said there wasn't an explicit call for people to go walk peacefully. He did say they needed to fight
Listen,
like hell or they were going to lose the
that's the
country.
same thing. They didn't have the
That was
rope.
near the end of the speech.
They didn't have the rope. He didn't say
Okay,
explicit.
$10.
Again, people really don't understand language. They don't understand what words mean. It's so frustrating engaging in a conversation with people who cannot follow the conversation. It's beyond frustrating. They do not know the difference between how these words are just being used. They do not have enough brain cells to conceptualize how this works.
A rope.
I get
Like, we
it.
literally
I
saw
get
the
it.
picture of
I
the
get it.
gallows built the morning of. Like that actually was there, but
You don't
I
get
don't
it.
know.
Dude, a
You're-
gallow for midgets. You couldn't even hang a fucking midget on those fucking
Yeah,
gallows.
It's not our
I
fault
got
you
it.
guys
Look at the real size of it.
gallows.
Come
I
on,
get
stop
it, but that's
pretending.
Jesus.
Stop bullshitting. Look at this.
Gonna hang him with this? They need a
Look
better
at this
trial.
size. Look at that. You're playing.
Oh, we're
You're
laughing at
you're
the
playing the violins
right
here.
hand
Look at the
hang
size
the
of
vice
that
Okay,
thing.
okay.
Oh, it's funny having going to the Capitol and threatening to hang the vice president. That's hilarious. Gotcha. That's why I said these are evil pieces of shit. And go fuck themselves.
Be
$10
realistic.
from Pondering
Fuck.
Politics. Just real quick, $10 from Pondering Politics. Trump had weeks and months before the election to challenge the alleged election changes this dude is complaining about, in addition to the time after the election. Thank you for the $10. 5 Canadian dollars from Ace Chrome Cheetah to say, so you're just admitting Trump is planting and fabricating evidence in his second term to prove voting fraud occurred in 2020. £5 from Riz What the Fuck to say, I'm not premature insurrection quite covered how disgusting and unpatriotic it was for these people to attempt to overturn the result of an election. And more dollars for Mr.
He shouldn't say anything from a country he's from. He'd probably go to prison for fucking saying some stupid ass shit. That's probably insurrection and fucking.
You know what? Anyone who wants to give me money to say things is okay in my book.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
Okay. $10 from Mr. Wise Guy Plays to say, will you guys ever bring up the BBC News completely fabricating and editing parts of Trump's January 6th speech to make it sound like he was telling his supporters to fight down at the Capitol? I want to hear Dev and Destiny address this one.
They used it on my trial. Let's start with that. They used it at my trial. They used a BBC clip at my trial. So go ahead.
No, they didn't because the edit happened in 2025. The trial was what, 2022?
Well, they're on that time travel shit, bro. Come on.
Again, this Enrique guy is a fucking idiot. He really does not understand anything ever. He's constantly wrong and lying. He's a pathological liar. He just makes shit up. And people and these other morons are like, oh, yeah, well, sure. It's like, yeah, something happened. He used something on my trial from the future. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You should know this by now.
No. Listen, not you.
The reality is they didn't completely fabricate anything, but they spliced together something from the beginning and the end of his speech, which they shouldn't have done. It was stupid.
Together. Yeah, they shouldn't have done it. It was a bad edit, but like using it now, to go back 5 years and claim something is fucking stupid.
Okay.
Well, notice how, because I'm not a partisan fuck, I can say that's bad. I shouldn't have done that, right? But you can't concede a single fucking thing, despite the fact that all the evidence. You guys can't even answer. What were people there for? What were people at the White House for?
They were there to protest the stolen election. How many fucking times are we going to say this? Stop playing these fucking violins, dude. You're asking retarded questions.
If you're not partisan, the certification of the vote. They were called there for Donald Trump called them almost a month earlier to protest the certification of the vote. That's what they were there for, because they didn't like the election.
If you're not partisan,
yes, protesting. People accusing for protesting. You just said it. Fuck.
Well, if he's not partisan, can you admit that if they actually subverted the election with voter fraud and this other stuff that the Trump administration is alleging, then that would be equally as bad, if not worse, than the insurrection that y'all are alleging occurred?
I'm literally an American whose country was born from rebellion. Yeah, if the election was actually stolen, I think you have plenty of reason to insurrect and rebel, of course. Which is why it was all the more disgusting that Donald Trump lied to you guys, and then you guys continue to propagate the same fucking lies over and over and over again. Every single lie that Trump told the day of the ellipse speech, Barr and other members of his government had already debunked to him. That's the issue. Just like the State Farm.
They didn't need Trump to say anything. They didn't need Trump to say anything to believe that the election was stolen. Don't you get
Donald
it?
Trump was the one spreading that lie. He spread it for 6 months before the election fucking happened.
Absent Trump, there's fucking shit going on.
No. You're a dumbass. You are fucking stupid. Oh my goodness. What do you mean? They would not do what they did if it wasn't for Trump building this whole rhetoric of the election was stolen. Shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Come on, bro. Why?
Oh, no, there wasn't. Yes, but there really wasn't.
Or he just read the room.
No, there really wasn't.
It was fraud.
So Donald Trump ran in DC.
What COVID was like? I want to hear from Grid. Grid, go ahead, please.
Yeah, man. I mean, so Destiny, come on, man. Trump doesn't run NBC or Fox News or any of the other major networks that were carrying the stories of potential election fraud. It's literally so disingenuous.
He literally, Fox News is Trump propaganda personified. NBC, I don't know what article you're referring to in terms of NBC. I feel like you're making that shit up.
Of you to say that Trump made this all up and he was the one that was promoting this, when literally every news agency in the country was not only covering it, they were looking for it. And I mean, come on, man, stop it. That's bullshit. You know it.
Let me just be clear. Was Fox News knowingly propagating lies about voter fraud on behalf of Trump's campaign? Was that a thing that happened?
I don't know. Can you tell me?
Yeah, they said
100%. You're 100% sure that they were propagating lies. That you can prove that
the Dominion, the whole Dominion machine voter fraud. That was Fox News propagating things that they knew were lies from Trump's campaigns and campaign circuits. Yes, they settled the largest defamation of all corporate history.
Yes. I'm surprised. All these Trump content creators, you guys don't know anything. You didn't know this. You didn't know Fox News was doing this. You didn't know they got sued for what, like 600+ million. Like, you didn't know that? Oh, of course, because you live in your ecosystem where only what Trump's orders are. That's the only information you get there because you're a fucking moron. Okay, understood.
Hold on, please. Everyone stop. No, Jeff, please, everyone stop. Grid. Do you acknowledge that that's true?
I don't know that Fox made that up themselves. I don't know that they.
I don't remember that. You don't know about the largest election-related defamation case, one of the largest election suits. Then you don't know anything about this.
Tucker Carlson getting fired from Fox. I mean, yeah, I remember it. But I don't know that all of that was 100% factual either. Mm-hmm. Again,
pretty crazy to not know anything about any of that, but okay.
Well, I don't say I know something else. I fucking know it. I'm not guessing.
So just
And
for
what
everyone's
the fuck are you
education,
doing?
it was a
What is your
conviction,
job?
it was
You
a
dip it?
conviction. I
Oh
think that's a
my
word. They
Finding.
They settled that.
finding.
They settled.
There was a settlement. There was a settlement by $2 billion companies.
I think the settlement was for like 700 million.
But that doesn't support your
1.2
claim
billion,
that
but yeah,
Trump
it was a lot.
did this. Your
Trump's
claim is
campaign
that
surrogates,
Trump
people like
put this
Sidney
out there and
Powell,
he was the guy
Trump
doing it.
people in his group were the ones
Okay,
going
Trump
to Fox News and
people
telling
now.
them.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Yes,
Who are
the
the
president of the United States himself was not personally driving
Who
a
are
car.
the Trump
He wasn't hopping on people like Sidney Powell, people like Rudy Giuliani, people like Mike Eastman, people like Kenneth
But this is a
Chesbrough.
double standard. You say if he doesn't say enough of what you wanted to say, it's Trump's fault. But then when we're like, well, he didn't actually do it, you can't give us direct evidence. You're like, oh,
We can't give you direct evidence that he called the election stolen. What the fuck are we dead ass? It's just these people don't know how anything works. Their understanding of context is so fucking fucked up.
but in this case, it's
They
implied.
don't know
Right?
what
You're
context
doing a
is.
double standard here.
Okay,
Which
hold
is
on.
right?
How
Like,
about this?
It's the ultimate
I will
goalpost.
actually
I mean,
ask you
those
this question
goalposts are on the moon now.
What
Here,
goalpost do you think I've moved? Hold on, just to be clear, what goalpost do you think I've moved?
You
Our
initially
original
said
claim
that
was Donald started
Trump,
spreading
you
lies
literally
about the
said
election,
that
which he
it
did.
was Trump who was out there saying that the election was rigged, and he did all of
He
this. And he
was.
put it out there.
He
But it
was.
wasn't him.
Yes,
It was
correct.
Fox News. It was CNN. CNN was covering it. I mean, this is
Covering
dumb,
it doesn't
Destiny.
mean
And now you're
nothing.
like, well, Trump didn't do it,
Fox
but Sidney
News
Powell
spread
did it.
it came
Does
from
Sidney
Sidney
Powell
Powell was
reach
Trump's
20
personal
million
lawyer.
people? No, Fox News does.
Okay.
And Fox News
Sidney
reported on it.
Okay,
You could have
okay,
said,
okay.
Trump was the lie.
Dev, go
Yes.
ahead.
So you guys are asking for examples of when Trump himself did it, right? Okay. Do you guys know what happened at the White House on December 19th, 2020?
He met with Sidney.
At all?
He met with Sidney Powell, Mike Lindell. No, another attorney. Yes, and that night was when he tweeted, "Be there, be wild."
On the 19th, there was a 1-hour meeting between Trump, Eastman, Pence, around 20 people from Congress, and about a dozen senators, where they planned out what they were going to do on January 6th. Everything was laid out in that meeting on December 19th. And by the way, that's the
is
reason
that the
why
first time that they made a story about election interference or potential election fraud? Was that the first time?
Not-
you heard about it?
not the first time, no. But it was the big
it wasn't
meeting where they
Fox
had everything
News,
come
it
together.
wasn't CNN, it wasn't the BBC, it wasn't any of
But
these
you
other news
asked for
agencies
Trump.
who were
You
finding
asked for
irregularities with the
You asked
election.
for when Trump did
There
it.
wasn't all of
So he's just scrambling. He's everything he's saying about like these news companies covering it. He's making shit up or over exaggerating. The only one that actually definitively said that there was election fraud was Fox News. They got sued because they were fucking lying. Everybody else just probably reported on that this allegation existed. So yes, they are reporting on allegations made by Trump and Fox News. That's a thing. That's normal when you report on big stories that are happening. Trump is the one who started the story. He's the one who propagated it. Oh my goodness, bro. These people.
these news agencies whose job it is to cover the news, who were finding the irregularities and Trump pointing to it and going, "Hey, we should look into this." That's not what happened.
No, that's not what happened. That's not
Okay,
what happened.
then you live in a very special kind of
Well,
world.
let Destiny, what did happen?
Reality is people from Trump's group. Remember the Kraken? I know you guys like mind wipe and memory hole, all the stupid shit these people said.
Oh yeah,
It was
I remember the Kraken.
Trump surrogate.
But that didn't
and they claimed
happen
to
when
find evidence of voter fraud, and they presented these to state legislatures and to city councils and on TV and on Trump's fucking social media. And then the media looked
that
into
was
it, nobody found
months
anything.
after the story broke in the news. Destiny.
No.
It was literally a month and a half after the first iterations of election fraud. The Kraken wasn't even mentioned. It wasn't mentioned in November, right after the election. It was late December when the Kraken was going to be released
before the election even happened, man.
Yes.
Okay. Here, I have a question for Mr.
I could be wrong
Tarrio.
about that.
There, what's he doing? Is he walking a lobby?
He's talking to somebody. He's in a lobby.
I don't know what he's doing, man. But ask your,
That's not a green screen. He's in a lobby.
he's actually somewhere. No, give him what you got, Dev. Ask him the question. He's here.
Are you back? Yeah, you.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. No, I have a question for you because earlier in the debate, you said something along the lines of that Trump didn't tell you to go there and he didn't tell you to do what you did, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. I decided to go look this up. I didn't want to say it without confirming it because that's not the kind of guy I am, but I decided to go look it up. You do realize that in your trial, the defense you gave was that Trump told you to go there, right?
No, that was on the closing arguments, and it was very clear. If you go ahead and you go through the transcripts of it, we're saying that we were there because of the event at the Ellipse, not because the president told me to stop the certification of the election. Those are two different things.
What your attorney said was Trump told these people that the election was stolen. Trump told them to go there on January 6th, and it was Trump with his speech on January 6th that unleashed this mob on the Capitol. That's what your lawyer said.
Okay, and if you keep reading through the context of that, he's saying that event being there, right?
Yo, this guy's a pathological liar. He's been wrong and been debunked. and has been just objectively incorrect so many times. He's a pathological liar. Don't believe anything he says.
And switching over to and saying, hey, we're going to go to the Capitol, and I'm going to go through and say peacefully and patriotically, made everybody go over there, right? And that's what happened. It was a riot. Look, nobody disagrees. It was a riot. It was a riot that gone bad. But to go and say that it's an insurrection, it's bullshit. Come on, dude. Like things go bad, and it went bad. And look, there was a big no. Trump did not.
I get it, man. I get it. Things go bad. But
Trump said on December 19th that there was going to be a rally. I was already at the November one. I was at the December one, and I wasn't going to miss a January one.
Can you answer the question real quick though, Dev? Can you ask it again just directly? Just I want to get
because Trump did tell you to go there. You did say that.
Trump put together. So Trump put together. Trump said to be there on January 6th. Yes, I was there. I don't think anybody would disagree.
Cool. Okay.
He put the event together. He didn't tell me to go.
No voices in your head or anything?
Yes, there's no voices in my head telling me. Trump wasn't in my head telling me to go.
That whole Kraken thing, that started in November. Sidney Powell was fired in December by Trump.
Just real quick. Jesiah from Pondering Politics for $10 says, a Wick fact-checked the fella in the upper right-hand corner. Powell publicly talked about releasing the Kraken on November 17th. So there you go.
So if we know that Trump was calling people there at least a month ahead of time, or around a month ahead of time, if we knew that he was telling people that the election had been stolen, that we had to fight like hell or we're going to lose our country, and then he sent a whole bunch of people.
Because that's what people believed at the time, yes. And I still believe that.
Because he told them, yes.
Because it's true.
So, yes, because he told them, right? So what, and then a riot just happens to break out, I guess, since we're saying who could have possibly seen that.
No, listen.
And then a riot breaks out, and then a riot breaks out. Why is it not until after Ashley Babbitt is shot and killed that Donald Trump finally tells people to go home?
You mean the person that you celebrated her death?
Why would him and Giuliani be making phone calls to Congress and telling them to change their electoral certification votes? Why wouldn't Trump call in the next?
Because they believe it was stolen and that they should. That's called lobbying. It happens every fucking day.
So
yes, you lobby somebody to change their vote. Welcome to Congress. Why is there a whip? Why is there a whip?
That is no. What they did on Jan 6 is not lobbying. What Trump did is not lobbying. That is not lobbying. Convince them to do something against the legal process of the election is not lobbying. Come on. The fuck are you talking about?
Whip in Congress. Why is there a whip and somebody that counts votes? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. It's like you don't know how the fuck this thing works, and you're so retarded because you know exactly how it works, and you're playing the fucking part. You're fucking. You're an idiot.
The election was stolen. You guys showed up.
Yes, I did think the election was stolen. Period. The election was stolen. Period. Period. By you people. By you people. You people stole the election. That's it. That's what it is. You promoted the Seal dossier. You went ahead and you fucking went ahead and you demonized Trump supporters for so fucking long.
Okay, we got there will be order in this court. There will be order in this court.
In any of the cases, any of them, he lost every single.
Ask the judge. Ask the judge.
Order in the court.
$10 from Ace Chrome Cheetah to say kind of ironic. Since for Tarrio, I'm sorry, I know I'm mispronouncing your name. Forgive me. For Tarrio to accuse Destiny of simping for the Justice Department, since there's evidence that he had been an informant for federal and local law enforcement. Were you an informant for federal and local law enforcement?
Yes, I took down an entire sex trafficking ring in 2013. Yes, I put 30 people in fucking prison because they were a bunch of fucking pedophiles and sex traffickers. And if anybody has a problem with that, then I tell you what they're protecting, right?
So he did that, and now he capes and tries to overthrow the election for a sexual predator in Donald Trump. You know, it's crazy. He's very familiar on what that looks like. And then Donald Trump has weird cases and constantly is trying to cover up for Epstein and is Epstein's best friends. And there's weird quotes about Donald Trump or with Donald Trump and young girls. And we got Epstein saying, oh, this is a good one, talking about a 14-year-old. But he does nothing about that. Interesting. Interesting how these type of people work. They go against their own morals to belong in the cult that they are with. That's crazy. Hey, man, another quote that makes a lot of sense. Maybe he was a hero back then, but he lived too long, and now he's the villain, helping Trump, the man he sought to destroy in the past.
Protecting fucking pedophiles and sex traffickers. So, yes, I am very proud that I put 30 fucking people in prison, and 2 of them are serving life terms. And I do it again. And every time that I find somebody that does some type of sexual assault shit or some sex crimes, like my buddy up there, Destiny, we'll put them in prison. And you know what happened?
Yeah, but not Donald Trump, though. When he has, sexually assaulted women, when he's, has allegations on doing disgusting things to women, when he's best friends with one of the worst child traffickers in modern history, when he does all that stuff, mum's the word. But okay, try to make yourself seem like a hero. It doesn't really work here, considering the person you're trying to protect.
Happens to people like Destiny in prison. It's not nice. It's not nice. It's not nice.
I think you're misunderstanding.
You got 2 fucking civil lawsuits. You better hope you never go to prison. You know what they do to sex offenders in prison?
When they say 36, probably shit that you enjoy, I'm sure. When they said that 36 feds then were at the January 6th insurrection, you would have been counted among those, right? If you would have actually stayed overnight.
I mean, I guess if you want to count me in there, yes. But I did not inform. I went to trial. I did not inform on anybody on January 6th. You know what I did? I strapped my fucking balls in and I sat there with my fucking brothers and I went to trial and I got offered a sweetheart deal to lie about the president and I took 22 in the face. And you'd never do that for any of your friends. You'd fucking throw them under the bus. You'd throw them under the bus first chance you
didn't say shit. That's crazy. So did you just admit that you had stuff that you could have given about Donald Trump or Roger Stone or whoever the fuck?
I don't know. I thought you were versed in all of this. I thought you were versed in all of this. I thought you were the professional. You read shit on the internet. Right? Yes, they try to make me fucking lie. Yes. You know what? I hope one day that you get persecuted for your fucking views and you go to prison because people like you don't survive prison. People like you don't survive prison. Right? We'll put the ball pop and put them inside your mouth and you'll be found in the shower.
Yeah,
you'll be found in the shower.
We gotta take it from 11. We gotta bring it down to like 8. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Let me know when you want 11 again.
I want my channel to remain monetized. That's all I'm saying. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
I mean, mine too. What you just said, because you mentioned that you monetize.
Go ahead, Dev. Go ahead, Dev, please.
You had put away some pedophiles in 2013, which you got, good job, by the way. Fair enough. With that being said, why do you still support Trump, considering that he's obviously in the Epstein files?
There's a red herring. What the fuck? Let's get back to the topic. Dev or Destiny, can either of you guys answer? Out of the thousands of people that showed up that day, can you prove that they were all there because Trump directed them there?
Shut his bitch ass up. Hey, Enrique brought it there. He brought up some fucking sex traffickers out of nowhere. So let's actually he didn't bring it up out of nowhere. They talked about his FBI connections or whatever. Let's answer the question. Answer the question. Top 3 leaders of the Proud Boys were not white. So does that destroy the left-wing narrative? They are a white supremacist group? Nope. You can be a racist white supremacist group without not white people in charge. I'm just answering your question. That's possible. I just call them anti-American.
Do you have any proof of that?
Because I got a whole lot of proof. A lot of people were talking about the election being stolen and didn't Trump tell them shit.
How could we possibly prove that? What kind of proof are you looking for?
There you go.
That's your allegation. Hold on. You made the
Sorry, guys. I'm back. I got disconnected.
Well, so if a guy were to say, I want 10 people to come to my house tomorrow night.
Answer my question.
I'm answering you, fucking retard. Let me finish
let
speaking,
Destiny
okay?
respond.
That's not an answer. That's not a fucking answer. Ask the question. It's yes or no. You get yes or no.
Shut the fuck up and let me finish. If I say 10 people come to my house tomorrow and 10 people show up at my house, maybe 11 or 12, maybe somebody brings a friend, and you say, can you prove better than 10 dudes come into your mouth, you disgusting fuck, okay? You're telling me that I can't prove, how am I supposed to prove that every single person showed up there because of shit?
Let him answer this. Hold on. Let him respond to your question, and then you can respond.
Okay. Let me ask the question. It's not crazy. I know it sucks. Dealing in the world of fact is hard for you motherfuckers. Okay. How are you possibly supposed to prove that every single person shows up because, like, Donald Trump, he announced the event and people showed up for the event and he was a speaker for the event and then they went there protesting under his name? I think it's safe to say that the vast majority of them, 99%, showed up because of him.
Is that an unreasonable?
But I didn't. Hold on. My invitation did not say insurrection.
Just real quick.
My invitation said, "Hey, come to us."
Why you guys are so fucking stupid? Is that the response? Is that the response? We're talking about why you were at the event. What the fuck what are you fucking talking about? Jesus.
A rally.
Just real quick, I want to make sure Kung Fu Joe, did that answer your question? Why or why not?
Fuck no.
Okay.
No, it didn't. That's a total fucking dodge.
You know what? In that case, Renee Good deserves to get
very straightforward.
Kung Fu Joe, I'll answer for you.
Right,
No, you wanted a yes or no.
Because your people are hyping up this whole ICE thing. So by your own account, Renee Good, it was good that she got shot in the face, that she deserved it, right?
Why would I say that?
Because of how you framed everything right now is, well, the president told everybody to go there, but he never pointed at anybody. But now you're demonizing ICE, and now the same thing happened on the other side. Because you said the same thing about Ashley Babbitt. You said the same thing about Ashley Babbitt. So you know what?
That's a shit analogy. A shit analogy.
So you know what? Where there were congressmen at the other end.
Well, Renee Good tried to run over an ICE agent, and she got popped in the face.
He was trying to escape the scene. It's very obvious.
She got popped in the face 4 times trying to run over.
Very obvious.
And she wasn't even armed. At least the other one was armed with a fucking Honda.
Babbitt was trying to get away from an Antifa member named Zachary Alam. That's why she punched him in the face before going through the window.
That's really?
Yeah, really. Same as Zachary Alam. Yeah, he was an Antifa member. He broke the window that she crawled through. She was trying to get away from
Absolutely,
it.
and she was forced the entire way. I heard there were 3 Antifa people that carried her all the way to the front of that protest, and they were all pushing her through that window. That's crazy, bro. That's insane. How many Antifa? It's so crazy that we've got thousands of different angles of video footage and everything else, and the best thing you could do is the Zach dude and Ray Epps. It's crazy how many instigators there were that just aren't on camera for some reason. It's crazy.
Yeah, this little pussy just keeps on blaming everybody else. Oh yeah, the cops, they riled them up. This random Antifa guy riled them up. Ray Epps riled them up. The actual people who went in there, beat up the cops, broke the buildings, invaded the Capitol, went inside the building. Yeah, they get no blame though. They get no blame. Oh, I'm not Republican. Go fuck yourself. How about that? Honestly, I don't know why these guys are free. They should really.
They're making anything about an instigator forcing the Proud Boys to go there. Isn't that kind of weird? It's kind of crazy, huh?
You can stop freaking out, and I can address the Antifa thing. Landon Copeland, an Antifa member, he actually gave a signed confession saying there were hundreds of Antifa there that he met with before.
Wait, who?
Landon Copeland.
No, who the fuck asked retard? This has nothing to do with what we're talking about. She tried to climb through the window on her own. We can all see it. All you get video footage. Nobody's pushing her retarded fucking ass through the fucking window. You're retarded. Sorry. Done. You're done.
Okay.
She more dangerous than the woman driving the car?
I want to give Dev wanted to answer Kung Fu Show's question. If we can get back to that for a moment, go ahead, Dev. Answer the question if you'd like.
Just refresh my memory.
Remember the question?
What was your question? Go ahead.
I want to know that if he has proof of like what percentage of people showed up there because Trump told them to be there.
So I can't give you percentage.
Trump announced the event.
Oh, you can't. So you can't.
No. Hear me out. Because Trump did.
That's such a stupid fucking question. That is such a unbelievably stupid fucking question. Oh my goodness. If there's an event held by a person inviting people to come to the event, why else the fuck you would be there? What the fuck kind of question is this? It's just, dealing with people who are just mentally insufficient is so frustrating.
Announced the event. Yes, he announced it several times on social media, and also more importantly, he retweeted. This got like over 100,000 likes. He retweeted Ivan Raiklin's tweet, where Ivan Raiklin said, "America, Mike Pence must do this tomorrow to defend our Constitution from our enemies. Big tech censorship, MSM censorship, corrupt officials at the federal, state, and local levels." And then it says, go to the. So yes, he's promoting these things. He's retweeting these things. At least some people who saw that ended up going. Yes. There's a connection.
You don't know how many.
Hold on. Just let me ask you this.
Was it more than zero?
Kung Fu Joe.
Obviously,
yes.
Just real quick.
Just Kung Fu Joe.
Any other motivations for people to be there than Trump?
Yes, but Kung Fu Joe, can you just acknowledge that perhaps at least a majority were probably there because Trump invited him? Can we just infer that?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
He's a bad faith piece of shit. Of course, he's not going to concede anything. Of course, he's not going to concede that. They just randomly showed up just because they felt like it. Go fuck, man. I keep on repeating the same thing, but I hate these people. I
think there's plenty.
Why is that unreasonable?
Because I have a list of reasons why it's unreasonable. There was a lot of expanded mail-in voting. That's sus. That's one. The heavy-handedness during COVID under Democrats.
Get rid of his dumbass. Get rid of this loser. And oh man, I hate this. Shout out Wick. I hate this. I'm struggling getting through this. I'm struggling. I hate these people. I'm struggling. I don't even know if this is good content because I hate these people so much.
It's mostly all January without their COVID
and
Point USA
come to this event.
Here, let me ask you this. Okay, so Kung Fu Joe, are you aware that Turning Point USA was in contact with the Trump campaign to actually facilitate bringing people to DC for the event? And Charlie Kirk himself said this. He said that they were busing people in to attend this fucking event. How is that not them being brought in directly by Trump?
My point is that there's thousands upon thousands of people there, right? And the thing that you guys are alleging is that they're all there because of Trump.
I never said
that's
all.
bullshit. We don't fucking know that.
I never said all.
Right. That's
okay. You can't even put a percent. Okay, put a percentage on it. What do you think it is? Can you even put a percentage on it?
There's no way to prove this. This is such a stupid claim. No, this line of logic doesn't apply to any scenario of invited members ever. There's no scenario where there's an event happening and you know exactly what every single person is there for. It's just, but like, of course you can't know that objectively, but the common sense logic chain of events is that when there's an event led by an individual, these people are there for the event. Therefore, they're there because Donald Trump told them. Like, that's just logical understanding of what an event is. I don't.
Honestly,
they're bullshit.
Stop.
They're pissed anyway.
A lot of people would stop. Hold up. I could speak from experience here. I can speak from experience here. Destiny, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Was not promoted by Trump, and there was tens of thousands of people on the ground on DC without Trump saying a fucking word. So we could stop. We could cut that shit off. That has no merit. That has no merit whatsoever.
I also think
And he needs that.
That on the ground on DC without Trump saying anything. December 12th was not promoted by Trump, and there was tens of thousands of people. November 14th and December 12th was not promoted by Trump, and there was tens of thousands of
November 14th. Because these people are pathological liars. I need to look this up. The Million Mega March. So someone set up a march. Wait, why am I even looking this up? Just because there's another event that wasn't inspired, that Trump didn't explicitly say do, doesn't mean that this event is not that. Like, why else would they be there? These people were there for a march. They're protesting something for the million whatever march. This event was to listen to Trump. So you're there to listen to Trump. It's such a dumb line of reasoning. We're an hour 30 in. Can I listen to more? Do I have enough sanity to keep on listening to this?
people on the ground on DC without Trump saying a fucking word. It has no merit whatsoever.
I also think it's
And he needs that. He needs that.
November 14th protest on the night of the election.
People were talking about this all over the place, independent of Trump, and they were pissed about the stolen election. Trump said, "Oh, I'm upset about, or we're worried about mail-in voting," and everybody's like, "Oh, well, let's keep an eye on that." And then, wouldn't you know it, a bunch of mail-in fraud. We're all like, "Oh, now we know what to look for."
But there was no mail-in fraud, right? Never found any of that mail-in fraud, right?
Okay, so just real quick,
found it?
$10 from Josiah, Pondering Politics, to say multiple convicted January 6ers and many who pled guilty said they were there and did what they did for Trump. Check the court records. Dev can probably quote it verbatim.
Can I address that? Because
yes,
that's what's called, people do that during what's called an allocution. It's basically throwing yourself at the mercy of the court. It's basically, I'm sorry, I was a bad boy. When it comes to federal sentence.
I hate these people, bro. I hate them so much. I hate it. So everything, any evidence, anything that's legal, anytime there's evidence against them, these guys are just going to say, well, they were just set up. That none of that is true. They're not going to admit to anything. They are never going to admit anything they've done wrong. They are just evil people.
You have a sentencing guideline based on an arbitrary number system. If you accept responsibility for your crime, you typically get a 3-point reduction in your sentence. But if you show no remorse, then you can get a 3-point enhancement. It might sound arbitrary, it is, but that's a 6-point difference in your sentencing, and that can be a huge disparity in how much time you do. And especially when you consider most of these guys were like blue collar guys, or they had wives and families to get home to. They were trying to do whatever they could to get home as soon as. It's also why even more people took plea deals and actually put the government to its burden at trial.
It's a humiliation ritual, not law.
Yep.
It is.
So it's not a humiliation.
Yes, it is when you're doing forced.
Wait, you know what? I want to ask.
Let Destiny respond to this. Destiny, go
Trying
ahead.
to put the blame on somebody else is like the opposite point of a fucking allocution statement. The whole point of allocution is that you're supposed to show you're taking responsibility for whatever the fuck else. So if you would do an allocution statement, you would say, well, it was just because of Donald Trump the whole fucking time.
Welcome to DC. Welcome to the DC circuit. Yeah, welcome to the federal circuit in Washington, DC, where they want you to throw Trump in the snitch in the jail with me. Tom Civic, he got released on bond because
yes, listen to the guy who tried to overthrow the election and is there to save it for Trump. Yes, his opinion is super objective, of course.
And the judge saying, "I'm sorry, I supported Trump. I'm Antifa now. I'm a good boy.
I'm sure.
You think the guy who got pardoned by Donald Trump and was there to overturn the election for Donald Trump is going to be honest on what was actually going on? Fuck no. These guys are fucking completely loyal to the end. They'll never admit anything.
Why did they charge people in their hometown? Destiny?
Can I ask a question here?
I'm giving you his name. Tom Civic, look it up. I don't need to make this up. I have enough experience with this. I'm not making it up. I'm giving you the defendant's name. It actually happened. Look it up.
Actually, according to NPR.
Yeah, well, look it up. Tom Civic wrote a letter. His judge released him out on bond. His restrictions were that he couldn't watch Fox News and far right content. But yeah, he was saying that we were cult members in the jail because we sang the national anthem at night. Yeah, that's what they expected. It was a humiliation ritual. Suck it.
Yeah. So I got a question for Destiny here. Since he said that, you know, I got tried by a member of my jury, I want to go back in a time machine really quick, and I want to give him the same example, and I want to see if he feels the same way. Pre-civil rights era, and even after civil rights era in the South, specifically in Alabama, there was a lot of Black African American defendants that got sentenced to not life in prison, they got sentenced to death, and they went to trial. And
his bitch ass is trying to compare himself to Black people who suffered under Jim Crow and after the slavery period. His bitch ass is trying to really do that. Yo, oh my God. There's no way he's trying to compare himself to Black people in the past. There's no way he's trying to compare himself to Black people in the past.
And ever since then, a lot of them have been overturned. But because the reason why they were overturned, it was because it was a white racist jury as members of the jury, which were clearly, and they had said that they hate N-words. So in that case, can you say that those people that got death sentences in the state, we'll focus on the state of Alabama, would you say that they got fair trials too?
I'd say probably not.
His bitch ass really compared himself to Black people in the past for what he did on Gen 6. He really did that. He really, with full chest, compared himself to Black people dealing with racism after the slavery period and during the Jim Crow period. He really did that. Full chest did that. Full chest. These MAGA cultists are unbelievable. They're unbelievable human beings. They are the epitome of immoral. They are immoral pieces of garbage. Oh my God, bro.
Okay.
Do you have evidence that the jury came out and was making statements like, I hate all Trump supporters and I'm going to convict all Trump supporters? Or
Destiny, I have a couple of those examples that are worse. When the judge in my case asked, and three individuals did the same exact thing.
Jury. Did any of the jury come out and say anything like this?
Did the jury? Yes, they did. As a matter of fact,
they came out and said that we hate all Trump
supporters.
Dude,
I just listen. No, they said worse than that. They asked, do you know about Enrique Tarrio and the Proud Boys? And they said yes. Do you have strong feelings towards Enrique Tarrio and the Proud Boys? Yes. What are those strong feelings, and describe them? Nazis, anti-Semitic, racist, all sorts of things. Okay. Based on those strong feelings, can you, as a member of the jury, judge this case, set those feelings aside and judge this case by the evidence and the evidence alone? Do you know what those three people said? They said no. They said no. Oh. They said no. And the very next day, we did. We tried. Believe me, when somebody says that, we did try. The very next day and the day after that, those three members of the juries were put right back on the stand and asked the same question. And if you've ever been in that position, the judge sits on a podium this tall with a black robe, very menacing, and asks, are you sure? And all three of them said yes the very next day. After already saying no, they said hard no, there wasn't no if, ands, or maybes. And they were allowed to sit in my trial. During the trial, the foreman of the jury, we protest Drag Queen Story Hour all the time. We asked if he was politically active. He said no. After the trial, actually months after the trial, months after my sentencing, we find out that this gentleman puts together Drag Queen Story Hours in the DC area, an area known for Proud Boys protesting Drag Queen Story Hour, and specifically one of his events.
I just don't believe anything he's saying because he's been lying the entire time. I just don't believe it. He can be. I can be making this entire story up. There's no evidence that what he's saying is correct. He could just be making everything up, and then there's no way to confirm whether or not. I'll just say he's lying. I don't believe in a single thing.
So people can hate me all they want, but the process wasn't fair, and this happened many times over. So I'd encourage you to.
I mean, he thinks the election is stolen, and he's been lying the entire time and constantly wrong. So I'm just going to believe this is not true. I don't believe it.
rethink your position when it comes to
Okay, I'm gonna let
my conviction.
yeah, I'm gonna let Destiny and Dev respond to that, and then I have Josiah really wants me to read these out. So once Destiny and Dev respond to that, I'm gonna read something from Pondering Politics, Josiah, and then that's the order we'll go into. Go ahead.
Well, I'm trying to find information about this Thomas Civic guy who assaulted the police officer.
Tomfibick.
No, yeah, but
Civic
are you saying you're saying that he got out on bond because he wrote some letter saying that he was Antifa now or whatever?
I said Antifa facetiously. He said he was no longer a conservative or Trump supporter. He was a liberal, and that was I believe it should have been September. Would have been in September of 2021. He wrote a letter
to find this letter or whatever.
I can look it up. Hold on.
Well, okay. While you guys are looking that up, so here's what Josiah has to say. He says Tarrio said Trump had nothing to do with the November 14th, 2020 Million MAGA March, but here he is the day before, hyping it up and saying he'd show up, and he made an appearance with his motorcade. The tweets he's referring to is on the 13th of November, 2020. He says, heartwarming to see all the tremendous support out there, especially the organic rallies that are springing up all over the country, including a big one on Saturday in D.C. I may even try to stop by and say hello. This election was rigged from Dominion all the way up and down. And then he also, yeah, that's what he says on the 13th of November.
Hey guys, sorry to cut in here, and sorry to cut in on your thing. I got to run. I got another event that I got to go to. I really got to say I appreciate you for putting this together. I appreciate my brother Tim.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't need your appreciation. You can go fuck yourself. I would not accept that at all. He's a traitor to this country. Just leave. You're here for the panel. You're about to leave. Leave. I don't give a fuck. Leave. Bye.
Hail everybody else on this. Destiny, thank you for being here. Dev, thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Said thank you. Don't thank me. Go fuck yourself. Bye. Leave. Let's continue.
I'll be back. If you guys want to do this again, I'm open.
Okay. Have a great day. Thank you for coming.
Don't have a great day, Wick. What the fuck? Really, Wick? What do you mean have a great day? Go fuck himself. Like, we need to have like energy for people who are bad people. Like, can we just have like consistent energy on bad people? Oh man. Please.
Be touch for yourself.
I will touch myself.
No, not on screen.
Take it deep. Hey, I got a link to that letter. I'm trying to put it in the chat, but it's not pulling up. Can I do the screen share, or is that what I should do? Or
send me the link and I will put it on screen.
Alrighty.
Just DM it to me directly, please.
You got it.
And now he freezes.
I'm opening it up.
Hamster internet at its best.
I'm going to share. What am I looking at here?
Oh, that's the handwritten. Back up there.
Yeah, see.
Yeah, there's a handwritten.
Be able to read.
So this is
Yeah,
something
say
from
click on the share
social
button,
media.
Or view stream or something.
Read it, Wick.
Okay. This is from Julie Kelly. There's one get out of jail free card. Write a letter to Trump, loathing judge like Amy members. And this is, he writes, it's cursive. Give me a second. Your Honor, my name is Wright. Hide and admit enabled me to grow and become more cognizant of my being. Ultimately, having a
He was
I don't see a date here.
He was a jailhouse snitch, so he was gathering information on people. He ended up going to the hole for sexually assaulting another man, and then he got bailed. Funny enough,
it's a yikes.
The big yikes.
It's a yikes.
As long as he renounced his own feelings and thoughts and paid tribute to the.
So
left,
I'm just out of my curiosity, and maybe I got lost reading that. What was the point of the letter? Like, where are we?
So his claim was that this guy was able to get out on bond. So this doesn't mean that he got out of any charges or anything, but because he wrote a letter saying he hated Trump and he's Antifa, or he threw Trump under the bus, basically. It sounds like he's writing a letter to try to say that he's not a public threat anymore, and he recognizes the wrong of his actions, and he's not going to, I guess, try to be a threat. He's just trying to get out on bond. He's not escaping his actual.
It also served a secondary purpose of framing those of us who were still in there as creating a radicalized environment. So another part of this is the pleadings of his lawyer, who was saying that because we had a tradition in the jail of singing the national anthem at 9 o'clock every night, it created a toxic environment. He was being bullied and compelled to sing the anthem. And the judge wanted to save him from this toxic environment, and she appreciated that he was going out of his way to.
I don't believe anything he's saying either. His characterization initially was that this guy was like was saying, "Oh, we just sang the national anthem at night, so that's why we're in trouble." Now he's saying, "Oh no, they pressured in a traditional fashion." So if you pressure to someone to sing all in unison in a traditional fashion to do something that is very cult-like, like for sure, That's a completely different statement. So now he's changing the story.
Avoid radicalism. So that was that. He did end up getting a lower sentence than his co-defendant's head.
Well, fuck, dude, you shouldn't have rioted then.
What's that?
You shouldn't have rioted then.
What's that in response to?
Every single thing that I've heard for the past 5 minutes. Like, I don't care about the sob story. You were there. You fucked up. You should still be in jail.
You talking about him?
What do you think?
Yeah,
I'm talking about you.
I'm just curious. Who published this? How did they get this letter? Who published this letter?
That's a court file. You could see the case file number at the top of the letter. So it usually would go on something like.
Oh, so you read a letter for bond or whatever. It'll be a part of your court proceedings. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gang, we are kind of circling the drain just a little bit here, just a little bit. Is there anything like that you guys think that we haven't covered yet that we should?
I have a question for Dev.
Oh, go ahead.
So Dev, I've been thinking on this a lot, and it seems like obviously this is a controversial issue. It's hot. Would you agree that anybody who is nonviolent in either the J6 or the BLM or any just politically motivated, we just say, guess what? If you were in a politically motivated thing, we value free speech. We don't like people getting run over. We know things can run hot. So anybody that hits a cop, burns a building down, breaks something, okay, we're not putting that in this bucket. But would you agree to like a universal, if you were nonviolent, you didn't break anything, everybody get pardoned on that? Is it an untenable position for you?
That's such a fucking stupid. There's other crimes you can commit that's not violent. You dumb fucking moron. No, you shouldn't get a pardon if you're doing a crime just because it's not violent. Are you fucking retarded?
Yeah, it's retarded because there's lots of nonviolent crime. What are you talking about?
All right,
trespassing is a nonviolent crime. You should be charged with that.
All right, I understand your crazy position.
How is that
crazy to try?
Are you a fucking idiot? Yo, I hate these people. I hate these people so much, bro. I hate them so much. There's no way you're making the argument that you get a pardon for any crime just because it's not violent. The fuck? It's not how the world works. Stealing is non-violent. Should you get pardoned? If I stole something in the White House, should I get a pardon for it, even though I wasn't violent? The fuck are we doing? Oh my god!
Wait, is it crazy to charge for non-violent crimes?
It's crazy to try to say that we value political protests and that we're going to turn a blind eye on some of it, and we're not going to have a threshold that we're going to apply across everyone. Well, and generally, as I've been out there talking to a lot of fucking people during the last election cycle, I knocked on 7,000 doors. I've talked to tons of people, and nobody thinks it's okay to hit a cop. Nobody thinks it's okay to disrupt an election where you think something went wrong. Nobody thinks that's okay. And the one sort of plan that virtually every moderate would go for this plan, by the way, and even most of the folks on the extreme say, well, we want to have civilian participation in government. We don't want to shut this down. We want to be able to have speech. Why don't we try to be soft? Because this is the argument on the BLM riots. There wasn't the same level of follow-up on those for all of those nonviolent ones. So what you're saying is, fuck the right.
That's not fucking true. All the people who are violent, all the people who did a crime at the BLM riots, for the most part, got punished for it. So making shit up, obviously, that's normal for MAGA. And they're not comparable because a lot of the BLM people that were not violent, that were just protesting, they were not trespassing. We're trespassing on Capitol grounds.
But the left gets a free pass, and you don't want that because you think it's crazy.
I'm not saying
I get it. You think it's crazy.
I'm not saying
you just
that.
said the policy was crazy, and I explained how it would apply and how it benefit each side. And now you're saying it's not crazy. That's great.
Yeah, listen, just because your specific idea is stupid does not mean that I'm saying the left has a free pass. All right. I think that all trespassers should be charged with trespassing.
Decouple that. My pardon idea is stupid. How?
Because you're saying that there should just be a blanket pardon for all nonviolent crimes. No, there shouldn't be.
So the FBI's been following up on
let me answer it.
Go ahead.
So if you trespass, you should be charged with trespassing. That means a whole bunch of people on J6 should have been charged with trespassing, and that's a good thing. But also if there's like lefty protests where there's trespassing happening, charge them too.
Yeah, if they knew that they were trespassing and they qualified for the mens rea, yeah.
Shut up.
It's again, I feel like a lot of this is people just kind of memory holding the fact that it developed into a riot because the crowds were attacked.
Yes, they get no responsibility for the actions they did. Base.
Why were the crowds attacked? Why
Hold on. Wait. Were the crowds attacked before Dominic broke into the Capitol?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what led him up there, actually. There was a northwest scaffolding area that people poured into, and then I actually have video showing that you have people warning the police saying, hey, if you keep shooting through scaffolding through the tarps, people are going to have one direction to go, and that's up because they were bottlenecked.
People poured into the northwest, near that scaffolding. People were pouring into an area that they, weren't supposed to be in?
Northwest scaffolding was an open area that people went into because they had nowhere else to go. Yeah, they poured up there.
They couldn't go back?
They could have gone out.
The amount of people when the cops were coming at you? Yeah, do you want me to show you some video of what the cops were doing?
to people that were trying
I
to
don't think I
break
can-
into the Capitol, right?
see the
They
video.
were trying to break into the Capitol, right?
No,
Why
because
you
there
pretend
was
it's the violent
so
direction they could go with sport? Hold on, wait. So I'm just to be clear, you have video showing that the crowd of people that was on their way to this Capitol was so dense they couldn't just turn around and walk away when the cops are saying, "Hey, don't come here." You're talking about mens rea earlier. Don't you think it's a decent state of mind to know you're not supposed to be in an area if a cop is saying, "Hey, go back"?
Hey, you're assuming a lot of things there. Like the cops are saying, "Hey, go back." You know, a riot was actually declared before they used any PA system to actually tell people that it was a restricted area. And like I said, we can get into the Proud Boy thing, which you're incorrect about, but the barriers were removed from the outside, meaning people like me show up a half hour later not knowing there's a restricted area. So, Wick, I just sent you a video.
Previous rioters, though.
Let's roll
Okay.
with it. Let's
Let's
roll
see
that
what
beautiful bean footage.
Let's see what it has to say.
What's going to walk backwards? They can just go home.
What am I looking for here? Just FYI.
Oh, I apologize for the sound quality. I had to record this in the jail using a Discovery laptop off
what
of
am I
an
looking
evident outlet. You have to look. He's
That'll
telling
be-
the cover so they don't get sprayed or shot at. The cops start shooting through the tarp and they start hitting random people.
I'm gonna be real with you. I can't hear a thing this guy's saying.
So if you pull up the tweet that it's from, it actually I wrote out the transcript there.
So
And
I
basically-
don't believe
right?
it.
I'm aware of that. Jumping ahead, let's rewind. What did I say? People didn't know it was a restricted area. People didn't know they weren't allowed to be there. I showed up, for instance, a half hour after those barriers, the first two were taken down, right? So a lot of people are there with different mindsets and different perspectives of what's happening. I have my cell phone footage, and it shows that we're just standing around singing "God Bless America." I had no idea there was any breach at all. And so when they start shooting at people, not even at agitators specifically, but in the middle of the crowd, when they start body slamming old ladies with riot shields, people get incensed. Not saying January 6th was good. What I'm saying is there's a broader context here for people who had no idea.
No, you are justifying you guys being at places where you're not supposed to be. You guys went to the White House. You went to the Capitol grounds. You didn't have the foresight. It's like you guys thought you guys can go anywhere the fuck you wanted. And then obviously when you're there, you would assume that security's like, you're not supposed to be here. They will try to get you out of there, right? But no, the people who are actually there, that they're not supposed to be there. And even though they were told not to be there, they should leave. No, it's their fault. It's the other people's fault for doing their fucking job. Okay.
I understand.
So many people there. There were so many people there. It was like an ocean of people. I didn't see any barricades. And keep in mind, for the first crew that came through, a lot of them were removed. They actually threw some over like these stone walls that were through the walkways that connected Peace Circle to the West Terrace. So if you weren't looking for it, you very often were not going to see it. I mean, there's no other explanation than that. That's the truth. Nobody wants to hear it.
Yeah, Dev gave me some video
'cause
too.
you're
Let's
a
see.
lying piece
Let's
of
see.
shit.
And Dev, what am I looking for here?
Oh, we're just gonna watch it. Just play it
Okay.
for a few seconds. We're good. Yeah.
We're trying to get compliance, but this is now effectively a riot. 49 hours declaring it a riot.
So this is them breaching the third barricade.
County Police 1 advised they're trying to breach into the Capitol.
Third barricade's down.
We have a breach of the
They've now
Capitol.
broken in. I mean,
Breach
like,
of the Capitol.
the entire narrative of this event on the right is fucking ridiculous, guys. This is not some peaceful protest.
Easy for you to say because you're conflating a bunch of shit, and this is what you've gotten away with for years. It's just using a bunch of compilations and shit. This is what the fake community did. This is what they did at trial.
They're conflating shit that you guys were doing. What?
They create these giant compilations and they create a grand narrative and ignore the individual experience. I mean, like, so for instance, the second clip is on the east side of the Capitol. That's where Cam Hemphill was rushing the police. That has nothing to do with what happened on the west.
So if there's a bunch of people around the Capitol and they're entering different areas, you expect them to act different for people to person when they're there to protect the people inside? You expect them like what are we doing? If there's a whole bunch of people trying to invade the Capitol that are breaking in, all of you guys are a threat. You're not supposed to play kumbaya and ask every individual, "Oh, are you peaceful?" The fuck are you talking about? I hate this motherfucker. He's such a.
You have the Northwest scaffolding, what I just talked about, the third thing. The Senate Wing War area. There are different individuals involved in these things, and there's a sequence for how this happened. The first thing, you don't even think it got to that point. Again, that's the area of.
Yeah, you can be heard, but I'm just curious. Okay. Like, I don't. To me, it's looking like the people here are attacking the cops. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. And I can provide some context for that. And I'm not defending attacking the cops, but
what is the context? Yes, go ahead.
I'm gonna provide context. I'm not defending, but this is why they did it. That sounds like you're defending them. You're justifying their actions.
Go ahead. What's the context?
He is yet to blame anybody for doing what they're doing. He's been constantly just pointing out blame on everybody else. Everybody else is at fault. Antifa's at fault. The cops are at fault.
You that would enlighten the audience a little, especially for a lot of people that I was locked up with. Basically, along that front end there, along the front west terrace, you have police who are using excessive force on people who are along that police line, right? So for quite a while, before that first perimeter collapses, you have people who are coming up to the barricade. Maybe they're chanting some stupid stuff or whatever, the waving flags. But a lot of them are trying to talk to the police. What you have is people like,
why the fuck are cops protecting an area that you guys are not supposed to be in? The cops are supposed to have a conversation with you. The fuck? When there's so many of you? Are we serious?
Padilla, for instance, Jose Padilla, he gets bashed over the head with riot batons to the point where he blacks out 4 different times. You have people like Jeffrey McKellar, who was there at the front in the first clip. You see that area. That's the front. That's the west terrace. Right? He's there peacefully protesting, and then he sees an old woman get smacked down with a riot shield. Right? This incenses people. These are grown.
You're not supposed to be there, bitch. What are you talking about? You're not supposed to be there. You're not supposed to be there. What's so hard to understand? You guys are the ones here causing the problem. But the cops are doing their job. Are they supposed to be fucking friendly to you? Are we serious?
Men, they're seeing old women being attacked. I have video of people. Michael Curgio, I have video from him.
I don't give a fuck.
People were getting hit with gases.
Within 2
minutes.
Can you?
I don't give a fuck.
Can you just play?
You're not supposed to be there. You're not supposed to be there.
Here and then, Tim, I want you to tell me if you see anything that this goes through that you disagree with for how they're characterizing stuff. Also, just the scaffolding that you're talking about at the northwest part or whatever.
Okay. You watching? Everyone got it? Everyone good? Everyone eyeballs on? Ears up?
Okay. Of Biggs's arrival, over a dozen Proud Boys are now trained on that entrance. And they attack the police. They've unleashed the crowd around them again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this white area here.
This is where the police are being attacked for them to gain entrance to this area. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, this is the white area here. This goes around. This is like a construction site. They're getting ready for the inaugural address. All right, so people pour into here, okay, and when the cops
are attacked, after the cops are attacked here,
cops start shooting through the here, this tarp here, right?
Okay.
After people are breaking in because they're attacking the cops to fight through this. Yes.
And a lot of them are pouring in there because they're getting sprayed and maced.
You ready for me to continue?
Yeah, keep going.
Kicking off a fierce 20-minute battle for the scaffolding. It's the closest yet the mob has come to the lawmakers inside, who are still in session.
It's the cops' fault and not the fucking people trying to get in. Understood. Great character. This guy should be rotten in a prison. I'm be honest. He doesn't feel remorseful at all what he does. He's so glad he got a pardon from Trump.
Again, Proud Boys stay at the front. When police start using weapons here, Joe Biggs retreats again with a small team. They stand to the side and watch from the lawn. Some of them peel off and head for the east side of the Capitol, where Biggs will meet them later.
So, pause for a sec. So, where is the video footage of the cops just randomly shooting tear gas or whatever into the crowd, where an area hasn't already been breached, and there aren't people who are literally fighting with cops?
First, I just sent Wick. I sent you a video of them body slamming an old woman.
Okay.
And then,
give me a second. What's the time?
I don't give a fuck if an old woman gets body slammed if she deserves it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't give 2 shits.
Timestamp on this so we know.
I'm fucking trying to play moral victim.
I'm gonna have to juggle.
I don't give a fuck. He ain't supposed to be there.
No, I can just open 2 different tabs. So, okay.
Woman tries to break in my house and body slamming her too.
Wait, real quick. Can you go back for a second? Did that lady run up and shout the cop? Is that what just happened? I just want to make sure I saw that clearly. Did she walk up and shout the guy forward? Yeah,
let's watch. Okay. This lady
comes up. They shove each other.
No, she shoved that cop.
So she fucking goes up where she's not supposed to be, shoves the fucking cop. But yeah, it's the cop's fault. I don't give a fuck if she's an old lady. The fuck? What are we doing?
Yep, and it's standing there in an air show. She has the speed. She gets pushed back. Was that the body slam? Was that her getting pushed back? Is there another body slam or?
I guess we'll find out. We've got 15 seconds left. So.
Riot shield.
Well, she fucking deserved it, dude.
She's getting pushed back again, and she's fighting. This is our body slam old person that you were getting so upset about. Okay.
I was getting so upset. I didn't even see that. I didn't get upset about that. So lots of other people did. Again.
Oh, I didn't see that, but a lot of other people did. I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Oh my god. Yeah. Shut up. Shut up. Shut your bitch ass.
People keep falling back
Interesting. What they're making the saying is really interesting because that's the point that Mr. Tarrio was making to Destiny.
Gibbs, what dumbass point are you about to make it this time? What are we saying?
About the woman that was shot today or yesterday with the car, right? It's like, oh, well, this person drove into a cop and they got shot. Oh, good for them breaking rules, stupid games, stupid prizes, right? That's kind of what you're doing now. I feel like
real quick, Dev, hey, Dev, can I ask?
Hey, Gibbs. Hey, I think he's about to ask the same question. Are we advocating for him to kill her? Is that what we're advocating for? Please, Destiny, ask that question. Please.
Do you have a question?
What's up,
Dev? If the cops were to arrest that woman because she had, let's assume that one cop hadn't put himself in front of the vehicle. Let's say the cop asks her to get out and she flees the scene. If the cops had driven, followed the woman, and then arrested her eventually, do you think the cops would be in the right to do that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Me too. You see the difference there? We have no problem admitting when somebody's doing something bad, and they probably should get arrested for it.
You went the other route. I'm okay with that route. I agree. I said it multiple times. She shouldn't have fled. I have said that multiple times. Nobody's advocating for her to die. You dummy.
So I don't know what the fuck your point is. Did the woman that we
so right here, I'll say if this lady was good, she got arrested. Yeah, I mean, cool. She got body slammed. Play stupid games, play stupid prizes. I'll take both of them. What's the difference? Except she doesn't have a car. This lady couldn't hit the guy in the car. That's much more dangerous.
She's trying to break in a right. She's trying to push her way through where there's 10 cops saying, stop, don't come here. And she pushes her way forward. She assaults the cop.
10 cops, right? And they took her down, right? Okay, cool. Stupid game, stupid prize. I'm okay with that, right? But whenever we apply the same logic,
we're not advocating for her to die. You
dumbass.
Yeah, because this lady didn't get shot. You see the difference between getting shot?
Someone did get shot at this event, though.
Eventually, somebody was climbing through a door to get the congressman. When there was a guy with a gun.
It's the same metric. See the double standard?
It's not really the same metric at all, though. It's not a double standard. It's two different standards for two different situations.
It's the same standard.
So just to be clear, just to go back, because this is all a fucking lie, because all you guys do is fucking lie, which is fine. I get it. This is the world we live in now. There is no video footage of cops randomly shooting off disbursement ordinance or any kind of pepper gas or whatever else randomly into crowds or whatever, and that's why everybody's coming forward. All of the fighting, all of this was happening before the cops were shooting anything, so that you can't possibly use that as blaming why the people were trying to break in. That was all just a lie.
By the way, Wick, I sent you a 7-second clip of literally state police Capitol Police opening the barricade and waving people in. That could have confused at least some of the people that were there.
I hate this guy so much. I hate his body pillow fucking ass. I hate this guy so much, bro. There's no way we're using that as a talk. Like, you guys are getting railroaded so bad. Now it's like, the cops are letting these in. So that kind of, it makes sense that they would get riled up. Are we serious? Are we dead ass?
This is after the Capitol had already been breached.
So look, here's the thing. There are people that got charged showing up after it had been breached. So you move the football.
Well, to be clear,
when a Capitol Police officer forward.
Just real quick, Stream Rift, you haven't sent me anything. I have no DMs from you in the last hour.
I put it in the group chat, but I'll send it.
Okay, send it to me directly. This is something that Tim just sent to me. It's 28 seconds long. What are we looking for, Tim?
You're going to see the midget fella on the left with the bullhorn. The police attempt to shoot him through the face again, like they did to Joshua Black, but it ricochets off someone's flag. I just want to provide more context of the kind of things that were happening between all the clips that people see on internet.
Yeah, let me watch it.
Because you guys are doing something you're not supposed to be fucking doing. The context is not helping your case.
Yeah. Well, look, I work this week. I got a paycheck. I got to go fuck up my fellow brother. Yeah.
Where's Midget?
What's wrong with you?
You're not supposed to do. I have no idea what is going on. No idea what's going on.
Trump works for the people. Why can't you? Trump works for the people. Why can't you?
The rest of it.
That's terrible. That's crazy.
They should have shot more, dude. Disperse those crowds. Get them the fuck out of there.
Okay, this is from Stream Rift. There's no audio on this that I can see.
I don't think there is. It's very brief. She's literally waving them in. How do you?
Oh, there it is.
I've seen this clip. Do you know what that is? Do you know,
Yeah,
do you know what that is?
all of these have been debunked like 50 million times, but when you're
I wanna-
retarded shit.
Yeah. I will actually.
Vertical one where she's is this the one where she's waving at other cops, but this is cut vertically, and these guys don't know what aspect ratio is. Yeah, it's good. It's all right.
So I'm sure nobody there was confused.
It's got to be so nice propaganda for retards. Holy shit! It's like lines with 3-year-olds. Jesus.
And she's waving cops that are now behind the lines to come forward and go to the new line. Basically, she's not waving in.
Oh my god, these people are getting fucking destroyed. Oh, look, these guys see random clips on TikTok. So this is what happens. These motherfucking morons, they see random clips on social media. They see a MAGA bullshitter go out their way and create the context for them, create some imaginary context, and then they go like, "Oh yeah, I believe you. Yes, sir. You're part of the cult, so I believe you," and then use that as their means of evidence. And they're so constantly fucking wrong all the fucking time. MAGA is so wrong all the time.
So there's no way anybody would have been confused on that one. That's the
No
fucking
one is
point.
talking about it. No one is saying no one would have been
thinking
confused.
that it's
There might be
okay.
some people.
And then
I don't give a fuck if someone's confused about that. That's not what was happening. You lied. You created a narrative that wasn't true. People being confused about what's going on, even though they're not supposed to be fucking there, is not my problem.
That's not what we're talking about. No one is talking about that. No one. That's not what the debate is.
You're literally talking about it right now.
The
What's
perspective doesn't matter.
Okay,
Just as easy as anyone else could misunderstand it. Somebody could.
every single person that walked in was not charged with or convicted of trespassing.
Thank God.
Okay,
What does that have
well,
to do about Capitol Police waving people in?
Because not every single person who just waved in was charged with trespassing.
What were you charged with, Tim?
I was charged with a misdemeanor cocktail, like picketing and trespass and all that. I also had a felony charge called obstruction of an official proceeding, an Enron scandal era charge. It had to do with destruction of documents. That was
How long were
overturned
you
by the
in
Supreme
prison,
Court.
Tim?
3 years.
Damn.
Okay.
Did you actually enter the building? Did you go inside?
And
Yeah, I
did
walked
you end
around
up
there for
needing
about
that?
40 minutes.
Did you end up? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, shit. That's probably why you were charged with it. You shouldn't have been in there.
No, it was a fake statute. It goes back to the Enron scandal for destruction of documents. I should have got a year max, and nobody even does that with a federal misdemeanor.
How is it
85.
How is it?
If you want to understand,
Did you not win your?
Well, hold
Tim,
on.
did you not
You're
win
all
your
talking to
appeal?
talk at once. Just let Tim answer the question, and Dev can ask the question. But yeah, let Tim answer.
I was asking the questions.
Well,
I've
you were
had
both
whatever,
asking
go ahead.
questions, but fair.
I'll answer both questions.
Yeah, Tim. So, and I've heard this, but it's been a year, or almost a year now. Remind me, you did not actually need the pardon that you got. Why was that?
The pardon for me only wiped out the misdemeanors, which I would have, whatever. The felony charge I beat after I served my sentence. I beat it in appeals at the appellate court. It was based off of the ruling in the Fisher case, which showed that they improperly prosecuted people for 18 U.S.C. 1512 obstruction of an official proceeding. So it took a few years, but I beat that after sentence. So
Okay, Dev, if you had a question for it, otherwise I have one more question for Dev and Destiny, and then maybe we might wrap it up. We'll see.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, real quick. Well, I'll ask a question. Tim, you knew that you were in the building when you shouldn't have been, right?
actually, I did not, and so this became a huge contention during all this. I didn't know where the fuck I was. I followed a crowd. One of the big things that got me in trouble was they tried to say I was lying.
Were you not
enter the back rooms, dude?
Wait, weren't you one of the first people in?
No, they say that because of.
Is Destiny's Life always on 1.25 speed? No, I'm just playing it at 1.25 speed because my brain is fucked.
Proximity in terms of chronology. A lot of people poured in before I did. So
When you say a lot, you're saying I can't find a video of you minutes or within a minute after the very first breach. I can't find a video of you.
I'm trying to address the time. Yes, you can. I came in at about 2:14 p.m. The breach had happened at 2:12. So within 2 minutes, I entered the Senate wing door area. I was not one of the first people in. I mean, I guess you could look at the totality of people who came in, but I wasn't one of the first people who broke the window or kicked the doors open or anything like that. I walked through an open door. I stopped actually on the scaffold and picked up a flag. And then I just kind of wandered around and I followed a crowd in the building. I didn't know where I was. And if you watch the CCTV for the camera for the Senate wing door area, you'll actually watch me take a right. I go down a hallway. I turn back. I go down the other hallway on the left, and then I turn right back. I didn't know where I was.
What were you
I didn't
looking
think
at?
I have a question for you.
Did you?
I didn't know where I was, but I was inside the Capitol building wandering around. What the fuck? What are we talking about? Stop. Oh my God. What are we talking about? You know exactly what you're doing. Come on.
Were you ever saying words like a revolution was coming to Capitol Police?
I cursed off police on the outside.
They're talking about it right
I
now.
said the revolution won't be televised. Yeah, I did.
Okay. And then were you telling other people to continue going into the Capitol?
You think I was talking about an actual revolution? You think I was referencing something from the civil rights era?
Will you challenge?
I think I was talking about
Okay, and then were you telling other people
right after they were spraying people?
Revolution was coming to Capitol Police?
I cursed off police on the outside after they were spraying people. I said the revolution won't be televised. Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The revolution won't be televised. And what was his explanation for that? Let's hear that.
And then were you telling other people to continue going into the Capitol?
You think I was talking about an actual revolution? You think I was referencing something from the civil rights?
Why the fuck would you bring it up if you weren't referring to an actual revolution? Why the fuck would you bring it up if you weren't referring to? This is what I mean. These people are so nasty. They're nasty human beings. They are nasty human beings. Oh my god, are we serious? You're spitting, Leon. They think they're not stupid. Like, I don't. The revolution will not be televised. You think I'm actually talking about revolution? The revolution won't be televised. You think I'm actually talking about revolution? I'm just referring to another revolution in history. Why would, like, what are we doing?
Sure.
This is, yo,
were you challenging other people to go into the building?
No, I didn't challenge people to go into the building. What does that mean? No.
Encouraging people to go into the building, asking people to go into the building, telling people to advance on the Capitol? No?
Well, that came from an NCIS recording where I was talking shit drunk a week after the fact to my friend, who I thought was my best friend.
Oh, you were talking shit drunk. Okay, all right.
But NCI strapped a wire on. I was talking shit. That didn't happen.
Okay, but you just were in 2 minutes after the breach, walking around with a flag, making statements to Capitol Police saying things like a revolution won't be televised.
That was on the outside towards the scaffolding where a cop was mocking me and making mocking gestures.
I'm French and I can say ours wasn't televised. You know what? Your French Revolution was definitely not televised.
Towards me because
so you were already outside on the scaffolding, so you were near all of the initial breaching and you had no idea that you guys weren't supposed to be there. So there was a cop outside on the scaffolding where you knew people were and then you went in.
This guy is consistently being caught lying. He's a lying piece of shit. He's a lying piece of shit. Do not believe anything that he is characterizing. He's a lying piece of shit.
Through the crowd and into the building.
Near the initial breaching. I was not near the initial breaching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy that you can't listen. I wasn't near the
initial
breaching.
Crazy that you were so close to all of them. No clue. You were just being carried along with the crowd. It's insane.
I do have just one question for you. Okay.
Yeah, I said, no, you should tell the truth. Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. No, I can't believe that. Huh?
Okay. Tim, I have one question. This is just for me personally. Okay. What are the strength of the maglock doors in the Capitol building?
So I actually know where you're going with this, and you're actually right. I actually did some prep on this. I watched your previous debates. Those doors are, there may be some magnetic element to it, but yes, I know that it's a fire lock. If you push
he was prepared.
Yeah, if you push onto those doors and you hold onto them, they'll open up. That's not.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Oh,
yeah,
man,
I would say to provide some other context. The man who does that, I'm not alluding to him being some fed or anything.
Let me provide context in a way that does do exactly what I'm going to say it doesn't do. You know, he constantly does. I'm not defending, but I'm going to defend. Like, get the fuck out of here. All right. He's trying to save his ass so much with these qualifying statements. We know exactly what you want to defend. We know what you're doing.
A man named George Tenney. And he was in a previous stream I've seen you guys on.
Earphones died. They are absolutely dead. Let me put on my other headphones real quick. Ugh.
It was alleged that he was probably talking to another rioter. He was actually talking to Capitol Police on the level above. There's a crosswalk above. And we don't have the audio, but in George Tenney's trial testimony,
all right, it's not
he was speaking to the police, and they informed him on how to open that door. And there is CCTV, again, no audio, showing one of the white shirt officers right in that same area. So that did happen. I agree, though, and you are correct. The magnetic thing, that was some early, I'm not going to say disinformation, but that was an early rumor. Even my lawyer believed that. My lawyer represented one of the Oath Keepers as well. So that was something that people believed. It's not a real good talking point, though. It's not really relevant.
Well, yeah, I mean, it came from the Twitter account called Swank for America, who was a lawyer for the Oath Keepers. So that guy probably just made it up and then it spread around. But are you claiming that the person that he was talking to above was actually like a Capitol Police? Was he the insider? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying the police officer is the insider?
Is he there? Hello?
Broke up there. You said, was he?
Froze. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, are you claiming that like the police officer who was on the level above talking down to him, he was the inside job guy that was letting him in?
It was no, well, it was a woman. I'm not claiming that. George Tenney claimed that in his trial, and CCTV corroborates that there was a woman there. And then if you look at it, yeah, I mean, it does.
If you're not claiming that, then why bring it up? again, he's trying to qualify his statements to alleviate himself from responsibility on what is being said. You are saying this because you do believe it. That's the only reason why you're saying this shit.
Look like that. He's not able to do it. You know, oh, what's the do? He points up, he talks to someone, and then suddenly after that, he knows how to open the door, even though granted there's the sign there. So yeah, I mean, I believe that that's what happened. I have no reason to deny it.
Someone's a police officer though.
The Capitol police officer. I don't know what her exact rank was. She was a white shirt, so I imagine she was some form of upper brass, not a patrolman.
Okay. I do have a question for Destiny and Dev, and then I want to let the rest of you ask questions to them too if you have them. But I'd like this to kind of move it a little bit to what we were initially talking about. So, do we see? I guess it's a two-parter. Do we see a problem with the official White House website putting out their version of events like this is? And if you do, what needs to be done about this? Like, what exactly is the problem, and what do you recommend or advocate is done? Go ahead.
Well, I mean, the whole narrative is just a lie from start to finish. Trump wanted it. He called the people there. When they were there, they marched. They were violent. They insurrected. They managed to delay the vote. When the
There's probably more good information. This was Wait, did someone else join? Who's missing? Who's missing? Oh, they brought in panelists. Oh man, I wish I could have showed up for this.
If his next thing is to go, let me call the National Guard, y'all gonna go. Well, I wonder why he's doing that. He's probably doing it to get.
sat in his fucking room watching TV while him and his crony Giuliani were making phone calls to congressmen trying to encourage.
They would say, utilize the National Guard. Yeah, right. Guaranteed. That's what they would say. So let's not play the game.
Steps as soon as violence broke up to try and stop it. I would give him credit for that.
Bullshit.
Absolutely.
He did.
Absolutely.
They shut him down on X. The fucking Twitter files make it very clear that our
Wait, what do you mean he shut him down on X?
The deep
what do you mean
state
shut him down on
doesn't
X?
wanna go. Oh, they terminated his account. They wouldn't let him continue to.
Oh, I thought you meant. Oh, yeah, because he encouraged a violent insurrection.
Yeah, because he said go peacefully and patriotically. That's fucking retarded. We had to shut.
Why
that down.
do you only quote that one part of the speech? What about the
Why
fight
do you
like
ignore that they shut down his ability to speak when he was being peaceful? So
he was banned for inciting a violent insurrection.
You deep throat this narrative. I don't know why you can't give it up. It doesn't make any sense.
Because it's the truth. He incited a violent insurrection for inviting everybody to the Capitol because that's what happened. We don't have the narrative.
So delusional. You think that they needed Trump to say. You needed Trump to go protest. Fucking people were angry.
Why were they angry? Because of lies that Trump told. Because of lies that Trump told. Yes, that was part of the plan. No shit.
Can I ask you one question? Can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
Why the?
You know, I might listen to the rest on my own, but that's all we got for today.